All set?
West Palm TV, 30 seconds.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing. It's 9:02, so we can get started. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate for this morning's hearing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swear anybody in who's here to speak on any item on today's agenda. So if you're here for a code enforcement matter, including city staff, I'll swear you all in at the same time. If you could stand if you're able and raise your right hands for me. You here for code enforcement? Yep, stand up and raise your right hands. Are you going to speak, sir? Okay, very good. Looks like we got everybody. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Very good, thank you. You may be seated. So a little bit about process. When you hear your case called, the city will come to the podium that's on my left, your right. You will come to the other podium here that's on your left and my right. The city will go first. They will present any testimony they have. They will show me the documents that they intend to enter into the record, which will be on both sides behind me on those screens. They'll call any witnesses that they intend to call. Once they're finished, it'll be your turn to go. You'll be able to say anything you wish to say to me, show me any documents you brought with you today, cross-examine any witnesses that the city has put on. At the end of hearing both sides, I will make a final ruling, and you'll get an order that reflects that ruling after the hearing today. So with that, keep in mind that all of your testimony is given under oath today, and with that, I'll turn it to the city to call its first case.
Number 1, case number CEBLD 25100-866, address 233 31st Street, Court.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Raymond Stevenson. I'm a building inspector, code enforcement of the City of West Palm Beach. The court case number is CEBLD 25100-866. The address where the violation occurred, 233 31st Court. The violation I observed was windows installed without a permit or inspections.
If we could pause for a second. We do have a respondent present for this case for 233 31st Street Court. You come up to this podium, please.
Go ahead, Mr. Stevenson.
I issued a violation and posted a stop work order on the job on the 10th of the 30th, 2025. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on the 12th of the 15th, 25, and was posted in the City Hall at the 12th of the 18th, 25. Again, my observation to support the violations was windows installed without a permit and inspections. The pictures shown is truthfully and accurately depict an alleged violation and reflect what I'm testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for work I observed and for what is displayed in the picture shown. Permits have not been applied for, permits have not been issued, inspections have not been performed. Included in my file is a copy of notice of violation and the affidavit of posting. I have no contact with the owner or the contractor. The city recommends 30 days to comply and $50 per day after that. I am submitting as evidence a copy of the case file, including all documents relied upon.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
All right, and your stop work order indicated windows and doors. Is it just windows or windows and doors?
Windows and doors.
Indoors, okay. All right, your name, ma'am?
My name is Deuta Pulatani.
All right, so you're the property owner. So you've heard what this city has said. What's going on? You put in new windows and doors and you don't have a permit?
I replaced my door and window because it was rotted. I didn't know that you needed a permit for that.
Okay. So are you in the process of applying for a permit now?
Well, I feel like there's a misunderstanding because I didn't know that you needed a permit. You need a permit to replace a rotted window in your home?
Yes, that's what the city is indicating. You replace any windows, any doors, you need permits, building permits for that, correct?
But we're not replacing, we're not rebuilding. It's just a replacement.
So I'll let the inspector speak to that, but it doesn't matter the reason for the replacement. Is that accurate, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, you've got to have a permit to install windows and doors because we live in a hurricane state. Florida, you get hurricanes. What happens if you put a window example in, no screws in the window?
Okay.
So yes, you do need a permit.
And was it just one window or was it all the windows?
No, it was one front window.
And one
and
door.
the front door because it was
Okay.
rotted from the water.
Okay.
And I see those modifications. I didn't put that in the red tag. I don't know if I should mention it, but if you see in the photographs, those modifications, you close the window opening up, that's a permit requirement too.
I don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Stevenson. You're saying there's another modification that they made that requires
Yes,
a
they
permit?
closed the window opening up.
So
they took a window out.
Took a window out
they
and
put
closed
concrete
it off.
blocks in.
So what he's saying is he
that
didn't-
is in the picture.
Okay. So he's saying that you did other modifications that you need to include in the permit, not just the replacement of the window and the door, but you also enclosed or removed a window and replaced it with just wall. Is that correct?
There is a window that was broken, and I did close that up. But that was just like,
Yeah, so what he's telling you is you need to include that in the permit application that you make, any modifications that you make, because you're changing the structural, basically the structure of the building. But, so, Mr. Stevenson, 30 days is enough time to get a permit here?
I believe so. I think I've given you a month. Has any work been done regarding the contractor?
I work also, and that's not enough time for me. And it was a rush, just replacing the door and the window, because I couldn't find a contractor. So with that being said, I really need 60 days.
Okay, it's fine. 60 days.
With the holidays and everything,
Yeah,
I
I
need some
understand.
time.
60 days is okay.
All right. Anything else you'd like me to hear, ma'am?
Well, if I want to paint the outside of the house, do I need a permit for that?
No.
No.
Okay. No, if I do a facade, do I need a permit for that?
For what, sorry?
Like a facade, to do an outdoor facade on the door, around the door? Do I need a permit for that?
No.
Okay.
All right, so one final question, ma'am. Do you have any objection to the documents that have been scrolling on the screen being entered into the record? It's the notice documents for today's hearing, the photographs. Any objection to those being entered?
No, I don't have any objection.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the city sounds willing to give you 60 days. I'm certainly willing to give you 60 days. My goal is to make sure you get the permit. It's in your best interest to get the permits as well. It documents that you've made upgrades to the house. So, and as he said, it's important for hurricane resilience to make sure that the work that was done complies with the building code. So it's in everybody's best interest for you to get the permits. With that said, anything further from the city?
I'm sorry?
Anything further?
No, that's it.
All right, in case CEBLD 251000866, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1, without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, the testimony of the code officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 110.1 and 105.1 of the Florida Building Code for the windows and doors that were replaced without the required permits. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 60 days or a $50 fine will be assessed. So keep in touch with the city if you have any issues. 60 days is more than enough time, but just so you know, you don't come back to another hearing. If you don't get the permits issued within the 60 days, the fine immediately starts running on the 61st day, okay?
Okay.
Best of luck to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Number 2, case number CEBLD 251000849, address 2314 Dock Street.
Good morning, I'm Kevin Pennington, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. The code case number is CEBLD 251000849. The address where the violation occurred is 2314 Dock Street. The violation I observed was a shipping container placed on the west side of the property. I issued a violation and stop posted a stop work order on the property October 2nd, 2025. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on December 10th, 2025. It was posted at City Hall on December 10th, 2025. It was posted on the property on December 11th, 2025. And a certified mail was delivered on January 5th, 2026. To support my observation of the violations are the shipping container and roofing materials. The photos being shown truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violation and reflect what I'm testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for the work observed and for what is displayed on the photos shown. A permit has been submitted, no inspections have been performed. Included in my file is a copy of the notice of violation and the affidavit of posting. I have had contact with the owner. He intends to comply. City recommends 90 days to comply and $50 per day fine after that. The time to bring the alleged violation into compliance is a reasonable amount of time. I am submitting this evidence of the case file, including all documents relied upon.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
So what was the nature of the work done?
They placed a shipping container on the property without a permit.
Okay, that photo said something about roofing. What's that about?
It looks like they're placing a separate roof on top of the container.
Okay, so it's over top of the container.
That's what it looks like from the road. I think if you refer back to another one of the photos, you see some panels laying or standing up beside the container. See the white panel, you see where it says dark under the, yeah, if you move the cursor down where that white in the center of the photo, above the stop work, that looks like, yeah, there you go. That looks like roofing material. And then you see the white, it looks like there's some kind of
And is that the shipping container there, the dark green thing?
Yeah, the dark green thing. The panels in the foreground, I think that's just a privacy kind of screen which is being put up. Yep. Yeah, it's dark green. And then I did circle it in another, highlighted it in another photo.
And under the city's code, they have to have a permit to bring that container onto
Yes.
the property?
Yes, for
Okay.
setbacks, zoning,
Okay.
tie downs. That's a
And
historical photo from 2022.
Okay,
There it
showing
is.
it's
You see
not
the
there.
blue arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said they applied for a permit, but it hasn't been issued yet?
Yeah, they did it. They applied for it on the 31st of December.
On the 5th of December, okay. And respondent's not present for this case? Okay. All right. Anything further?
Nope.
In CEBLD 251-00849, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll note for the record that the respondent is not present. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, or the building inspector rather, that the respondent's in violation of section 105.1 and 110.3, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 90 days, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 3, case number CEBLD 2505-0761, address 4159 Heath Circle North.
I'm speaking on behalf of one of my co-workers who's called in sick today. Hopefully that's okay with you guys. It seems to be a straightforward, I believe, violation. Okay, my name's Raymond Stevenson. I work for the City of West Palm Beach. The code case number is CEB LD 250-50761. The address where the violation occurred, 4159 Heath Circle. The violation I observed was on the pictures is a driveway concrete extension. The violation was issued and posted. The stop work order on the job, the 5th of the 1st, 25. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on the 12th of the 15th, 25, and was posted at the City Hall on the 12th of the 18th, 25. Again, the observation in the photograph to support each violation is a concrete driveway extension. The picture shown is accurately to depict an alleged violation and reflect what I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for work observed for what is displayed in the pictures shown. Permits have not been applied for, permits have not been issued, inspections have not been performed. Included in the file is a copy of the notice of violation and the affidavit portion. I've had no contact with the homeowner or contractor. The city recommends 60 days to comply and 50 days per day after that.
What was the remedy? I'm sorry. Comply how long?
60 days to comply.
And $50.
$50 per day after that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
All right, your name, sir?
Fidel Brown,
And your relation to the property owner?
her husband.
Okay, great, thank you. So you've heard what the city is saying. It looks like there was a driveway extension without a permit.
Yes.
Okay, are you in the process of trying to apply for a permit?
I've been trying since May, and they keep saying it's in review. I just went up there, and they gave me this. It's saying in review still, so I'm really waiting on the city.
Can you show that to Mr. Stevenson? Do you want to enter that into the record?
Yes.
Okay, show that to him, and he'll give it to the attorney, and then I'll take a look after everybody's looked at it. Can you give that to the city attorney to look at before I look at it?
Yeah, what I'm seeing is that they're asking for a survey.
I've filled out the survey. I'll put it online. I'll send pictures of the landscape and everything. I don't know what else to do.
Pictures, it's a survey from a surveyor.
Yes, I even got an email from Linda with the pictures uploaded, and they still asking
Any
for
objection to
pictures of the
Thank you.
landscaping.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been up here about 10 times in the last 2 months, and nothing is getting resolved.
Maybe because of the vacation time, you know, people being on holidays, it's maybe
I've come up
taking
here all the
extra.
time. This has been
Yeah.
since May.
Okay. I can't speak on behalf of the plan reviews.
I've
Why
spoken
it's
to
taking
different
so long.
people, and nobody can give me
I
an
know it's
answer.
got to go through zoning, plan review, so
As you can see on the
I know
paper,
it's
it's
time
taking
consuming, yeah.
3 months just to look at anything, each time.
Unfortunately, it's a process, yeah. I mean, I've put on 60 days. If
It's
90
been,
days will help, I'll do that.
it's been 7 months. It's not on me, it's on the
Yeah.
city. I paid all the fines, I've showed up, did everything I need to.
May 9th, okay. So some of these comments are very recent from 12:30. Have you resubmitted after that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Stevenson, can you give this back to him, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Stevenson, did you say you were willing to give him 90 days?
Yeah.
Just to make sure he gets through?
Yeah,
Okay.
90 days. It's better than 60, right?
And that should be more than enough time, but given the date that you applied, it's been a back and forth, so I'll go ahead and give you that additional time. Do you have any objection to the documents that have been scrolling on the screen?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No.
All right.
I would like to speak to Lindor James, that's who's on this paper, but every time I come, they're never available.
Okay, yeah, I unfortunately can't help you with that. All I can say is continue to call and try to get in touch with the people that
thing
you
they
want
tell me.
to talk to, yeah. All right, anything further from the city?
No.
All right, in case CE BLD 25050761, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I've reviewed respondent's exhibit with regard to his permit application and taken into consideration the application date and where he is in the process. So I did review that as well. Based on the notice documents that are in the case file that I've entered, which include an affidavit of posting and a confirmation of delivery on the certified mail, I'll find the city had good service for today's hearing. Based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the inspector, I'll find that the respondent's in violation of sections 110.3 and 105.1 of the Florida Building Code, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 90 days, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed. So keep in touch with him. 90 days should be more than enough time to get through, but be diligent as you have been about responding to the comments.
It's been since May last year, and they still
It
haven't.
looks like from those comments you're pretty close, so 90 days should be ample time. But keep in touch with the city if you have any issues, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 7, case number CEBLD 241-00661, address 225 Graymon Drive.
Good morning, all. My name is Joe Valdez. I'm a building inspector with the City of West Palm Beach. The code case I have today is CEBLD 241-00661. The address where the violation occurred is 225 Graymon. The violation I observed were new windows indoors were installed without a permit or inspections. I issued the stop work order on 10/28/2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail on 12/15/25, was posted on City Hall on 12/15/25, was posted on the property at 12/16/25. The certified mail was delivered, but nobody made an attempt to pick it up. The observations, again, were of new windows being installed without permits or inspections. And the pictures shown do truthfully and accurately depict the violation that I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for this type of work. Now, they do have permits they have applied for, but no inspections have been performed because they're still going through plan review on certain issues they have with historical. So I have been in contact with the person that is helping out the homeowner, and they are doing their work diligently, and they're trying to get this going through. They have a couple issues they have to go through, so I spoke to them and I told them that I would give them an extra 90 days, and then after that it would be $50 a day. And that, I think, is enough time to bring this up to compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Okay. Your name, ma'am?
My name is Virginia Ortiz.
Okay.
I represent the owner because they're not here. They live in Texas.
Okay. And just before I hear from you, ma'am, a question for you, Mr. Valdez. So the stop work said something about roof replacement. Is
Well,
this
there
part
was
of that or no?
There was another part to that permit, but they have taken care of that. It's all one violation, but they've taken care of that part of it.
So the only outstanding issue is the windows?
Exactly. That's why
Okay.
I'm here for it, just the windows.
Okay,
indoors.
great. So you've heard what the city is saying. It sounds like you have an application in, you're going through the process?
Yeah, we're working on that because it's historic, and we have, we're almost done. We only had one comment that we needed to take care of that. I already sent it all of it. I almost finished with everything.
Okay.
So I think I just need a few, maybe days to get the permit, get issued, so.
Well, I'm willing to give you the 90 days just to make sure you get the permit issued and the inspections that you need to have done. So that should be more than enough time. You would agree with that?
Thank you very much, Magistrate.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
No, no.
Okay. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No, thank you very much.
All right. Anything else from the city?
No, that'd be all.
All right. In case CEBLD 241-00661, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include affidavits of posting and also delivery confirmation on the certified mail that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the inspector as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of sections 110.3 and 105.1 of the Florida Building Code for the new windows that were installed without the required permits. I'll require respondent to comply with those sections within 90 days, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter. If there's any issues, keep in touch with him, but 90 days should be more than enough time for you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
The gentleman over there, he asking me if I can translate for him. I don't know if I can do that. I can stay to help him.
If you're willing to do that, you certainly can. Yeah, I don't know when his case is going to be called, but you certainly could.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Just
thank
want
you.
to know if I can do that. Thank you very much.
Number 8, case number CEBLD 24110662, address 3721 Henry Avenue.
Good morning again. Joe Valdez, Building Inspector, City of West Palm Beach. The code case is CLBLD 24110662. The address where the violation occurred is 3721 Henry Avenue. The violation is for an exterior stairway that was erected from the first floor to the second floor without permits and inspections, and that is very dangerous. I issued the stop work order on 11/1/24. The notice of violation was mailed, regular mail, 12/5/25, was posted on City Hall on 12/18/2025, and was posted on the property on 12/16/25. It was delivered on 12/17/25, and the observations, as you can see by the pictures, they do truthfully depict, as you can see, that it was very extensive work done, new stairs, and that were erected without permits or inspections. Permits have not been, they have been applied for, but they haven't been issued, so no inspections have been done. The permit number that they applied under was 25060-202. I have not had any contact with any of the owners or of the property, and the city recommends 60 more days to comply, or $50 a day after that. And that, I think, is enough time. They've had it in there for a long time.
The permit's been applied for a long time?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think that's enough time to bring it up to
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Is the respondent present for this case?
And this was a complaint by one of the tenants in the
Okay.
property that said that they seemed dangerous. And when I went out there, they did seem there could be some danger in this. So that's why I think they should get this taken care of as soon as possible.
Okay. All right, in case CEBLD 24110662, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll note for the record that the respondent is not present. I'll find based on the service documents or notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting as well as delivery confirmation on the certified mail that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the inspector that the respondent's in violation of sections 110.3 and 105.1 of the Florida Building Code for the stairway that was installed without the required permits and inspections, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 60 days or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Number 29, case number CE25114-299, address 300 Linda Lane.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Vivian Suarez. I'm the property owner.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law for the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. While on routine patrol, I observed multiple violations at 300 Linda Lane. I initiated my investigation on November 10th, 2025, and I found the property in violation for the following code sections: 94485-E, which states surfacing of parking and loading spaces. Prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy, all parking and loading spaces, access drives, and maneuvering lanes shall be paved with a non-dusting surface in compliance with the standards specified by the city for the unpaved driveway. 94-482-A, notwithstanding the preceding paragraph, locations where the off-street parking spaces, driveways, patios, and/or walkways in the front yard exclusively consist of permeable paver system. Parking areas located in the front of the yard shall be surfaced with a non-dusting surface. It shall be in violation of these chapters to park on any unpaved areas. The city issued a notice of violations to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of the hearing date. The NOV was mailed, certified mail and regular mail on November 19th, 2025 by the city's clerks. I posted the notice of violation to the property November 10th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting on November 10th, 2025, and it is in the case file. I took photos at the initial investigation. When I revisited the property, also I took photos, and these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is present. I have been in contact with the property owner, and the city's requesting 30 days to comply or a $100 a day fine.
A $100 a day fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Okay, all right. Your name again, ma'am, was?
My name is Vivian Suarez.
Okay, great. So you're the property owner. So you've heard what the city is saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so immediately when I received the notice, I emailed Ms. Law to understand what the issue was, what the violation was. She said that it has pea gravel, so she says that it's a dusting surface. So I explained to her that I'm in the process and I have my plans here of doing a major renovation on the house. I am not even living in the house right now. It's actually me and my daughter, and I did not want to disturb her during school and be doing a move out. The thing is that my plans have taken a lot longer than expected. I could show you the plans. It's a very big renovation that I'm going to be doing. So I contacted Ms. Law. I let her know that Nobody's parking in the driveway because nobody lives on the property. And then I was trying to understand what I needed to do to be compliant. In that email, I asked her that if I could use non-dusting material such as 3/4 clean gravel or crushed shell, before the December 11 deadline. Her response was that no, I had to have it paved. So I did get some estimates to get it paved. The driveway as it exists right now, it's not going to be that way when it's finished, but it's 1,500 square feet. So it's a pretty costly. It's pretty costly to do a paving job when it's going to be removed for demolition in a few months. So today I'm here to ask for clarification and for an extension. The same corner lot as my house. My house is Linda and Olive. Just a few blocks north, there's another house on the corner that just got built in 2024. And I have some pictures, and I'm requesting that if I could comply by just paving the apron, but leaving the gravel for now. It's going to be completely redone.
What's the timeline on your house renovation? You have plans, but do you have permits and all that?
I'm not ready for permits yet. I'm still in the phase where I'm still awaiting engineering plans, electrical plans. I moved out. By now I should have already have started, but it hasn't been that way. Okay. Everybody's been on vacation. My architect was finishing a project. My contractor has been gone for the last 2 weeks, so everybody's delayed. If you want, I can show you pictures of, well, you see what my driveway looks like. And I think part of this had to do too that FPL just did trenching to do the underground, cabling. So they did disturb my driveway. I've had that driveway for over 5 years, and it's never been a problem. But again, I'm not living there, so after they did the trenching, they must have moved some stuff. But I wanted to show a picture to see if this other picture is acceptable to at least do the apron for now.
So you can show her whatever you want me to take a look at. I'm not sure that she can give you, or I can't give you an answer as to what complies. I'll need the city to assist there.
Okay.
That may need to be a discussion that happens outside of this hearing, but if you want me to look at those documents, if you'll show them to Ms. Law first, she'll show them to the attorney, and then I'll take a look after that.
No objection.
Thank you. All right, so let me ask the city a couple of questions on these code sections. So I see 94-482A, it says that the parking area has to be a non-dusting surface. That's the primary issue? Because the second
Yes, ma'am.
section doesn't seem to be applicable, right? I mean, I presume that house has a CO, so it got a CO with the gravel, or they changed the gravel? Is that?
Well, honestly, I don't know when the property was built. When I did submit it to planning and zoning, they did see that there were modifications made that were not permitted. I don't know if the driveway was a part of it.
So maybe gravelled after the fact.
But the gravel is not permitted.
So I guess I understand she has to comply with the current city code, and her her prospective project doesn't really have that much bearing on this, but is there a way for her to comply without paving the driveway? What would constitute a non-dusting surface? Is that only paved surface?
Paved, pretty much. I mean, if, for example, like I explained to her, had she submitted her plans and there was work actively being done on the property, then that could have assisted her too without having to repave the whole thing. But as it stands, I think all we have is paving.
Okay.
And asphalt. She can asphalt it.
Or
if she had her
nobody's parking
permits.
on it, can she take the gravel up and put grass there? No.
No.
All right, I won't.
But if
troubleshoot
she had
that
a
any further,
permit
but-
that was open and they were actually working submitted, then that could assist her as well. But she doesn't even have the permits to prove that there's going to be work being done.
Yeah, the thing is that in order for me to do the permits, it's not just the architectural plans, as you know, I have to do engineering, electric, all the structural part, and I also have to do landscaping. I haven't even talked to my landscape architect to do that. So by the time, and that I explained that this project has taken a fairly, long time. I really need to get it started, so I am pushing to get it started, but I don't have a date when I could get a permit done.
Yeah, and I guess ultimately then that's going to be a business decision for you. You can either choose to have fines start running, or you could short-term pave the area that's there if you don't think you can get permits applied for
Would 90
quickly.
days assist you maybe with?
Well, does it have to be the entire drive? Because part of it is under the gazebo, that's not, does that need to be part of it? The left-hand side, can I put grass on that so that it's only one portion?
If you were to put grass on there.
Like, just on the left, because it's really wide, so it's not going to be that wide when it gets finished.
When it's done, yeah.
And definitely not as long.
Sounds like somebody from Planning and Zoning might want to weigh in. Is that accurate?
Right,
So,
yes. Good morning, Megan Bachat. I'm the city's landscape planner.
Were you sworn in when I swore everybody in?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Go ahead. Thank you.
Regarding the gravel driveway, it seems like a couple of years back there were pavers. I would say as a solution.
It didn't have pavers. I don't mean to interrupt you. It had asphalt that was completely torn up because of tree roots. So it never was paved. It was paved, but not by pavers, is what I mean to say.
But where was the tree? Like did you remove the tree as well? Because I don't see any
The tree is over on the right side, between me and my, it's literally right there in the corner. It's between me and my next door neighbor.
Okay. I would say as a solution, I know you're in the progress of, development, but a solution would be to put like parking stoppers. That way we know that, no one's there. The property's vacant, as you say, so you can just block it off. You can also contact planning and zoning and engineering, just so they can also help you with the progress. If you were to put permits in, I'm sure there would be other forms of like mitigating that area, but given that you put the gravel down, it's kind of tough to say where you can get this solved. But I would contact engineering and planning.
So engineering and planning?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can I ask you to give these back to her? Thank you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time, ma'am, to find a solution. It sounds like, from what I'm hearing the city say, there may be a solution that doesn't involve repaving, but you need to talk to them. I don't think we're going to iron that out here today, so I'm going to give you time to have those discussions with the city so that hopefully you can either get an application in or get some kind of stopgap done so you don't have to spend a bunch of money just rectifying the code problem. Is there anything else you'd like me to hear?
No, that was it.
All right. Do you have any objection to the documents that you've seen scrolling on the screen being entered into the record?
No, I mentioned to her that, that I'm not parking, so one of them doesn't even apply anymore, so.
All right, so no objection to the documents. All right, anything further from the city?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, in case CE 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114-299, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit I've reviewed respondents' documents with regard to the estimate for paving, as well as some photographs as well. Based on the notice documents in the case file, which include both an affidavit of posting and a delivery confirmation on the certified mail, I'm going to find that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'm going to find, based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of city staff, that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-482A and 94-485E. And I'm going to require a respondent to comply with those sections within 90 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed. So that 90 days gives you plenty of time to talk to the city, and hopefully you can get a stopgap measure to basically buy you time to get your plans in, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Number 35, case number CE 25124462, address 4324 Garden Avenue.
Good morning. My name's Yasmin Law with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint regarding the property at 4324 Garden Avenue. Upon my inspection, the property was observed to be in violation and is still in violation for the following code sections. I initiated my investigation on December 5th, 2025, and the violations are as follows. 22-32-A, it is unlawful for any person, either directly or indirectly, to conduct any business in the city of West Palm Beach without first making an application for and having obtained a certificate of use. 82-144, it shall be unlawful for any person to conduct any business, profession, or occupation, or to use in connection therewith any vehicle, premises, machine, or device for which a business tax receipt or permit is required. 22-441, it shall be unlawful for any person, agency, firm, corporation, association, or other group or organization, whether organized for profit or nonprofit, unless specifically provided by the provisions of this article, to operate or cause to be rented either as owner, lessee, agent, or manager within the city, any rental dwelling unit used for human habitation without having first obtained a business tax receipt and rental license or temporary certificate in compliance with the provisions of this article. 94-6, no building or structure shall be erected, reconstructed, or structured altered, nor shall any building, land, water, or air rights over land be used for any purpose other than use permitted in the district in which the building, land, water, or air rights are located. Just to sum this up really quickly, the complaint I received was that there was parking on the grass, and upon research we found out that there was a restaurant being ran out of the property and the property was being rented out without a business tax receipt. The notice of violation was issued to the property owner, which identified the violations, and my contact information was on the notice as well as the hearing date. The NOV was certified mailed in regular mail on December 11th 2025 by the city clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property December 8th, 2025. I completed the affidavit of posting on December 8th, 2025, and it is in the case file. I took pictures at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is here. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and the city is requesting 30 days to comply or $100 day fine.
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
All right, your names, please.
Good morning. My name is Eddie Velasquez, and we are the owners of the house.
Is her name? Is she going to speak?
Eddie Velasquez.
Her name.
Tatiana Dasa Sanchez.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And we have tenants in the house, and we applied for the license last week. So we're gonna call you for inspection. And we already spoke with the tenants, and they say they removed the advertisers, so they have nothing in there now.
They removed what?
They removed the advice, the business that.
Okay, the business that was there. Okay.
That was rented on November, so.
It was what? I'm sorry?
The house was rented on November.
It was rented in November? Mm-hmm. So what I saw on one of the prior things, the evidence of the business operating out of there, you saw cars parked in the grass, and then there's also some kind of online listing for the restaurant at
Yes,
that
ma'am.
address?
There's an online listing, and then I received and part of the complaint was that they were parking on the grass. But on the information listed there for the business, it's only Fridays and Saturdays after 6 p.m. I end at 4:30, but that was the proof I saw that they had the business there,
Okay.
out of the house.
And it's a house? is that
Yes,
what's
ma'am. It's a
there?
single-family dwelling.
Okay. So in order for you to comply that part, you need to go out there and inspect the house to make sure the business is not running out of there? Is that?
I would need to make sure that the business is not running there. Also for the rental housing, because they're renting the property without getting a BTR first. So I would also have to do
There's-
the inspection.
Okay, so
for
there's a
both.
business tax that's due for the rental of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
For the tenancy of the house, and then the business can't be there at all.
Can't be there at all.
So the business has got to go out. Okay. Okay, so does that make sense? If you want to call her and if you're telling me that the business has gone out of there, she needs to go by and do an inspection to make sure that
Absolutely,
that's accurate.
yeah.
So get in touch with her to request an inspection or whatever else you need her to do to.
We have to call, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will.
And you have to do a BTR inspection anyways as part
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
BTR, so you could verify it during that as well. Okay.
This is your information here, so that way we can call you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, do you have any objection to the documents that have been scrolling on the screen, those being entered into the record?
No, ma'am. Like I said, we rented the house, so, and we already speak with the tenant. They say they clear everything, so
Okay.
ready to inspect.
All right, and you may want to let them know, because based on the evidence that I have, I'm going to find you in violation. So you may want to let them know that once I find them in violation today, if they restart the business or if they do it again, they're going to be a repeat violator, and you're ultimately going to be on the hook for that. So you may want to let them know that they can't come back, don't bring the business back, that can't be used that way, that house.
I understand.
Okay. And 30 days should be more than enough time for you to get the certificate of use and the BTR.
I think it's the city, if they have 30 days to come to the house inspection, that'd be fine for us.
That's typically more than enough time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, anything further, Mr. Velasquez?
Oh, all good.
All right, anything further from the city?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25124462, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting as well as delivery confirmation on the certified mail, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and documents in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 2232A, 22441, 94.6, and 82.144, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter. So make sure you contact her and you have an affidavit of compliance by the end of those 30 days, because the fine will start running on the 31st day, okay? Good luck to you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 34, case number CE 25114-369, address 6010 Martin Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning again. My name is Yasmin Law. I work for the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. While on patrol, I observed a code violation at 6010 Martin Avenue. I initiated the investigation on November 18th, 2025. The following code section is 94-487-B-5. Restricted vehicles stored or parked on residential property shall be screened from the view of abutting properties and for corner lots from the public right-of-way abutting the side property line. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violation, as well as my contact information and the notice of the hearing. I hand-delivered the notice of violation to the property owner on November 18th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting on November 18th, 2025. I took pictures at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, these photos accurately depict and truthfully depict the violations observed during the investigation. The property owner is present, and I have been in contact with the property owner. The city's requesting 60 days or $50 a day fine if the violations are not corrected.
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And did I totally miss your service testimony you posted?
I hand-delivered it.
You hand-delivered,
yes,
okay.
hand-delivered.
All right, and I presume there'll be a signed document in there. So the issue is the boat is not screened on the other side of the boat?
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that the problem?
And
Okay.
because it's a corner lot, it can't be viewed from the right-of-way of the abutting property. So because it's a corner lot, it just needs to be screened.
Okay. All right, your name, sir?
Charlie Weiss.
All right, you're the property owner, so you understand, it sounds like you've been in touch with Ms. Law, you understand what you need to do to comply?
I understand what the city is saying that we need to do, but we disagree.
Okay. What do you think?
From the initial posting that we received, we spoke with Officer Law. She said that the violation was that the vehicle needed to be screened on 3 sides. Side number 1 was the north side of the property. There's a hedge. You can see it on the left-hand side there. Side number 2 is the garage. Side number 3, we agreed, was any other side, the front of the boat or the side of the boat. So initially, we notified Officer Law. Actually, her info was not on the notice of violation, but we had met with her out there after she posted it. And we spoke with her, said it needed to be screened on a 3rd side. I agreed with that. I initially thought that the vehicle parked next to the boat would qualify, but she showed us in the code that it needed to be vegetation. So we spoke about what we could do, said screen it on another side with vegetation, said okay, immediately went out, and then I notified the phone number. I left a message on the 23rd of November that we had complied. I got planters and areca palms to cover the front of the boat, as you can see in some of those pictures. Did not hear back until after Thanksgiving, and she was unable to come out that week to check our resolution. Let's see, and I have all of the correspondence to the city. I don't know if you want it.
Hold on one second, sir. Can you go back to that and scroll down again? I'm sorry. The NOV. Three signs, okay. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I have all the correspondence to the city. I don't know if you need that or if you already have it.
I think some of it is in here. If there's stuff that you want me to look at that's not in there, I'm happy to look at it.
No, it's just all the emails back and forth.
Okay.
All right, so Officer Law came back out again, took pictures, as you can see there, and then I believe she had submitted it for compliance, and then she was told by her supervisor that that side did not count because we were a corner lot. So she came back out, we discussed it, and we walked the property, and she said as long as it's on the other side of the boat, the south side, that would screen the vehicle from the next right-of-way, which I believe is Valley Forge Road. And we walked the property, and that was found to be okay. So I said, if I take the same screening that I have now, the planters with the arecas in it, and add a few more so it covers the whole south side of the boat, would that be compliant? She said, yes.
Can you put a picture back up there? When you say north and south, I'm not following you.
All right, so the left-hand side of this picture is the north hedge.
Okay.
We had initially screened the front of the boat. You see the... Yep.
By the sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah, but you can see in the previous pictures, I think she came out and actually took a picture of it. There's normally a vehicle parked there anyway on the side of the boat, but we understand that that is not compliant because it has to be vegetation.
So what side is the city saying is missing?
So if you see from here, where I'm on this picture, it needs to be blocked from here. So when I went out to the property, I explained to Mr. Weiss where this is the issue where it's not blocked, because you can see it from, I think that's Valley Forge, from that sidewalk, that street, you can still see the boat.
And initially, it was just it needed to be screened on a third side. We did not establish that it had to be the south side of the boat.
So where is this, connect the dots for me here, where are you standing? Are you standing on his property
She's
looking
standing
out?
on the south side of the property.
So yes, I'm standing in the right-of-way, the public right-of-way.
Okay.
Which is Valley Forge Road.
Okay. And then go back to
So
another.
I explained to Mr. Wise, if he were to put a hedge right there on the opposite side of the car, that would constitute a screening if there was a hedge there. Or on the other picture by the end of their property line before the sidewalk.
Yeah, on this picture, where is screening missing?
It is
So
not.
because those potters can be removed, they're not stationary. They're not in the ground. There's something that can be moved. The vehicle is there. However, whenever the vehicle moves, then it's not screened.
So the city's position is that those temporary plants are not sufficient screening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And Special Magistrate, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Under Chapter 94 of our code, screened is defined as hidden from view by a structure or other means, including but not limited to buildings, fences, walls, hedges, and other landscaping material, or any combination thereof.
I'll read that again.
Screened means hidden from view by a structure or other means, including but not limited to buildings, fences, walls, hedges, and other landscaping material, or any combination thereof.
So is the issue that there are not enough plants, or is the issue that there are potted plants, the city is saying, are not sufficient?
The potted plants, that they're potted plants.
But I'm not hearing that in what he read. It says
neither.
any combination of landscaping, so.
And the crucial part of this definition for this analysis to me is that it's not hidden from view.
That's not what they told me. The correspondence from Officer Law and then Officer, I guess it's Kevin Levine, said that it was not permanent. The email that I received back on December 18th, thank you for your correspondence. Our goal at the City of West Palm is to gain compliance and work as best possible with citizens of the city. I consulted the landscape planner, and the intent of the code was that the plant material be planted in the ground. And then I spoke with Officer Law after that, and she said Mr. Levine had told her that it was because it was not permanent. I've reread the code multiple times. I don't find anywhere in the code that it says that the landscaping material has to be permanent. The boat is not permanent. Why should I have to dig up my yard and plant stuff that I don't want there when that is a screening from the right-of-way?
What's the city's response?
Yeah, I mean, based on the definition, and I could defer to Officer Levine on what he spoke with the property owner about, but the definition is clear that it needs to be hidden from view, and you could see from the picture shown here that it's partially hidden, but it is not hidden completely.
Yeah, on that picture, that is not what I put in hides the boat from view. If you're on that street, the next right-of-way, which they said is the right-of-way that the vehicle needs to be hidden from, you can't see the boat with that. And those are brand new plants that were put in. It covers the entire boat. I spoke with Officer Law about it from the beginning because the front, it's completely covered. But that was not the right-of-way that they wanted covered. They wanted the other side.
Okay. Mr. Levine, do you have something to add?
Yes, ma'am. Kevin Levine, Supervisor for Code Enforcement.
And you were sworn, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I just want to clear up some misrepresentation. To begin with, I've never had any discussion with this respondent. When Officer Law came to me, I went to the landscape architect planner, and what I was told is that the intent of the code was to have the shrubbery planted, not in pots. So this is the information that I relayed to Officer Law to have her relate to the gentleman. So I have never had any discussion with this gentleman.
Okay.
No, I have an email from Mr. Levine
Okay.
from December 18th.
All right, let me ask you to show that to them, to give it to the city attorney, and I'll take a look at that.
No objection.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm not hearing, I guess I need the city to show me something else in the code. I'm not hearing anything in the code that requires the plants to be permanent in what you read.
And that was my position as well.
So unless the city can point me to something that requires permanent landscaping, it seems to me that his remedy is to put additional pots to make sure that the screening is what's required by the code as I read section 9447B5 and as I hear what the city attorney read into the record. So unless somebody can point to me where it says it has to be planted in the ground and not potted,
That was my position. And also, not to interrupt you on it, Officer Law had already come out and reviewed what I had done in the first place, which was put it in the front. We moved the screening to the side that she said it needed to be, and I asked her and had her confirm that buying the 2 additional planters and the same plants would meet the code.
and you received that confirmation?
No, she did it in person. I have it on my video, my Ring camera in the driveway. I mean, I didn't realize that speaking with her was not sufficient evidence of that. And she came back out, and you can see she took the pictures showing the 5 planters there, and the reason I didn't pass, according to her, was because it was not permanent.
Okay, so there was a
And there is no
discussion of
permanent,
permanency.
I mean, I've reread it, there's nothing that says permanent. I mean, the city, I'm sorry, you're the landscaper?
Right, sorry.
The landscaper's interpretation that it is intended to be permanent or planted in the ground, I don't think I should have to follow the intent of the code. I think I should have to follow the code.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry. Megan Bashot, City's landscape planner. The intent is to plant them permanently. Otherwise, you would see property owners were to put what's required, especially when it comes to screening, all be in pots. So that is the intent of the code, for it to be permanently, and also you need screening. And given that I'm looking at the Arca palms that you put in there, it's not adequate, and it's not at the city's minimum standard to cover your boat.
The screening that the officer recommended was planting the same Green Island ficus that I have in the front of the property.
Right.
Extending
So
it
the
along the
plant
side.
material-
That does not cover the boat.
The plant
What I put
material
in
is
there
fine.
covers the boat.
The plant material is fine, but given the picture, the height and the width of the plant, it doesn't screen off the boat.
According to Officer Law, it did. She agreed with me that that would cover it. And I've spent way too many hours trying to be compliant on this and following what your code officer has told me to do, and I have done it immediately. The first time was screen it on 3 sides. I screened it on the front side. That was not sufficient. She came back out after meeting with me again. She agreed that adding 2 more planters would cover it. she actually gave me a fist bump saying, thank you for being compliant and doing this quickly. And I thought that that was going to be the end of it. And then when I realized, I kept going back on the city and realizing the violation was still open, so I called, left a message, and sent an email, and she responded, I'm sorry, I was waiting for a response from, I guess it was from the city landscaper, and said that it was just because it wasn't permanent. She said that it was screened properly, and you can, if you take I have some pictures, but I didn't email them in, because she said she didn't need them. She said she was coming out to take pictures, and it looked like it was covered. Those areca palms cover all the way up to the boat. The only time it would not be covered is if I had the top on the boat, which I don't have the top on the boat. And I don't understand why I would have to plant those permanently if the boat's not permanent. The boat comes in and out of the driveway at all times. I mean, I used it with my son likes to go fishing pretty much every weekend, so we pull it out to go fishing. Why should I have to have palms in my front yard to block it? And that wasn't even what was suggested by code enforcement. Code enforcement wanted me to plant Green Island ficus along there. So my concern with planting that was that the city would come back and say that that was not enough, which I'm hearing right now that you think that that would not be sufficient.
Well, let me ask, is this the reinspection photo? This photo that's on the screen?
Yes, ma'am, that's one of them.
Okay.
Is there one from the other angle? Because those areca palms you can see come all the way up to the railing on the boat. And the initial way I treated it was covering the front of the boat. You cannot see the boat from the street that we live on, which is Martin. That's the front, that's Valley Forge. And I don't believe there was any screening at that time, or was there? Can you see the boat from that angle? So I can't.
See the truck.
Right. The truck is as tall as the boat. My truck is as big as the boat. The truck is normally there, and the screen would be there as well. But if I had pulled the boat out, I don't think I should have to put permanent screening if the boat's not going to be there permanently. And also, the code does not say that.
So that's the only photo that you have from reinspection?
The side view, actually, if you go to the side picture, the plants are there. I don't know if you can zoom in more on that photo. Mm-hmm.
I don't see the boat.
Just go over some, see the.
See the plants in front of it blocking the boat from that right of way. I feel like we are in full compliance with the code. And there's also other vegetation in between, that blocks it. I had asked Officer Law if putting a hedge along the sidewalk on that side would be sufficient, and she said yes. But
all the way at the other end,
correct.
All the way on the side.
Correct,
Yeah,
on the whole south end of the property. That makes more sense than me putting it next to my vehicle, but I really don't think we should have to do any of that. This, to me, meets the letter of the law. Nowhere in there did it say that it needed to be permanent. The code actually defines screening as being obscured by landscaping material.
Are there plants in front of the boat? Is the city interpreting the code to require plants in the front of the boat?
No, they don't want plants in front of the boat.
No.
So
it's just the three sides is all that's required.
Correct. But since I am a corner lot, that is why that side needs to be screened.
It has to be screened, that's right, yeah.
And there is other, there are plenty of other, there's plenty of other vegetation in between the boat and the right-of-way. This completes the, full screening of it.
On the right-of-way side, yeah.
Planting Green Island ficus, like was suggested, would not properly screen it. So I was actually going above and beyond what was told to me, that I needed to put some sort of screening. If you look at the Green Island ficus that I had planted there 3 years ago, it was this tall. It would not cover the car, it would not cover the boat. But that was what I was supposed to do.
So I can say, as the last thing, I think it would have been better if you were to plant the arecas on the opposite side, like on that corner. That would have made more sense to me. This is up to you, but I think like if we were to allow these plots, then we're going to allow it for all the other residents who would have the same issue. And when it comes to me reviewing landscape plans, I usually tell residents or applicants, like, you have to follow what's required, and
But where is
putting
that
plants
required?
it's in our landscape code, but I'm saying, like, when it comes to the requirements, including screening, we don't allow potted plants because those are temporary. Like, I understand your boat's temporary, but you can move those potted plants whenever you would like.
I mean, it's like saying that.
I don't know. I'm just saying it is a temporary structure. It's not a permanent structure. So
but it
that's
does,
what I'm going to
but
say
it does
to
screen
that.
the boat.
Let me ask this. So are you telling me that there's language in the code that says that the landscaping has to be permanent?
There's no language saying that it has to be permanent, but I'm saying in this case, if we were to allow this temporary structure of screening, then that means we would have to allow it for other residents who would have a certain issue like this. It would be easier to solve this by just putting those hedges on, planting those hedges on the corner.
No, I don't believe it would be easier for me to plant something than what I already did. And I feel like if the code required it to be permanent, the code should say that it has to be permanent. I shouldn't have to go by what is implied in the code. And I don't even think it is implied in the code. There's nothing in the code that I think says that it should be permanent. It says it needs to be obscured by landscaping material.
So can you go back, Madam Clerk, to the picture it's from the right-of-way that's looking toward the car, and all you see is the Jeep from the side of the property?
From the street view, you do not see.
Keep going, that one. So zoom in on that one.
And there's also she's taking a picture in between the palm trees that are in the front yard, which obscure it or screen it. And also there's a big oak tree on the median that blocks it. There's just this little gap here of the right-of-way where you could see the boat. The arecas that I put in the pots fills that gap. And you don't see the boat.
So I can see in that photo, I can see the engine right there over the hedge, and I can see a portion of the boat right behind the hood of the car. So I'm inclined to agree with you that the code, the language that I've heard read to me, and the language that's on this agenda does not indicate permanent vegetation. So I'm inclined to agree with you that, and the city can change its code to require permanent vegetation if it wants to, but I didn't hear in the definition anything that required you to plant permanent vegetation. But I can see the boat in that photo still. So
okay, so you're talking, you see the...
I can see the top of the engine.
I can see, okay. So,
and I can see a part of the white boat over the hood of your Jeep.
All right, so I had asked, oh man, that's, yeah.
So
you can see through it because that's a brand new areca that was put there, and
it's easy. Put another one to fill in the gap, and put another one to cover the engine.
Adding 2 would have passed, so I said, fine, I'll put 2 in there. I could put, if I put a third one in, then it would be a total of 6 arecas. You think that would be
as long as it's screened and you can't see it? Now, it's ultimately going to be up to Ms. Law to comply your case, right? So I don't comply your case out, but as long as she can stand on that right-of-way and not see your boat, then that should accomplish compliance with the city's code. So do you think you can get those trees there within 60 days?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give you that 60 days just to get the plants planted, call her to get an inspection, reinspection done, just to make sure you get out of code enforcement. But I agree with you. The language I've heard today does not require permanent screening. If, as long as you can't see the boat, I think you're complying with the plain language of the code on that side. The other side, as has been indicated here today by the testimony of the city, is complied on the whatever side of the hedge is on, and your garage obviously is covering the boat. And the testimony is you don't need to screen the front by the sidewalk.
Okay.
So I'll give you the 60 days to do that. I would encourage the city, if your intent is to have permanent landscaping, you should have the code revised to say that, because I don't think that what he read into the record requires permanent. The intent of the code is one thing, but the language of the code is another. So if you don't want that going forward, I think you need to make it say that it has to be permanently planted. Anything else from either side?
No.
Actually, yes. If I decided that I didn't want the potted plants in there, because that seems like the city doesn't want that, the proposal was to put the same Green Island ficus along the side of, you can see the Jeep truck right there, it was to, sorry, plant the same thing, but that would only, it would not cover the boat. Because right now you can see the Green Island ficus at its full height does not cover the boat. So would that suggestion not be sufficient for the city?
I personally wouldn't recommend Green Island ficus because they take a while to grow, but some other hedge material would work.
But it has to cover the boat. So
Has to cover the boat, yeah.
it just doesn't make sense in this, you know, in the design. We could have to, if we had to redesign our whole landscaping, then we could make something work, but that doesn't make sense to me either. So I think we'll stick with.
Yeah, you can choose how you get to compliance, but the code is clear. You have to be screened because you're a corner lot from that abutting right of way.
Add the additional one plant that should cover that
I'm
spot.
not telling you it's one plant. I'm telling you however many plants it takes so that you can't see the boat.
Cover it, okay.
So that when you're standing on that right of way, you cannot see the boat. However many plants that takes,
okay.
That's what you need to do. And then once you've done that, call her for reinspection. Okay. Anything further from the city?
No.
All right. Anything further from you, sir?
Nope.
Do you have any objection to the documents that have been scrolling on the screen being entered into the record?
I do not.
Do you want these emails officially entered into the record, or did you just want me to
I mean,
in the city keep this copy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I will, with that, in case CE 25114369, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. 25114369. I'll enter respondents' composite exhibit as R2, which has been so marked, and I'll ask the city to put that in the case file so that it's maintained with the case. I'll find, based on the service documents, the notice documents in the case file. Let me give this back to you, Ms. Law, so you can put it in your folder. Thank you. That I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include confirmation of hand delivery of the notice that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of city staff, that the respondent's in violation of section 94-487B5, and I'll provide respondents with 60 days to comply with that code section, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. So, like you've heard me tell the other folks, make sure you get it addressed because the fine starts on the 61st day. So get with Ms. Law and get a compliance inspection before then, okay?
Yeah.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Number 22, case number CE 25114291, address 207 Lyman Place.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Joseph LaPerna, Code Enforcement Officer for West Palm Beach. On November 4th, 2025, at approximately 3:37 p.m. while on routine patrol, my attention was called to the residential property located at 207 Lyman Place, West Palm Beach. There were several violations noted, and contact was made with the owner of the property regarding the violations. The notice of violation was posted on the property November 7th, 2025. Certified and regular mail were sent on November 13th, 2025. Certified mail was received on December 20th, 2025, and the affidavit of posting was completed and filed on November 7th, 2025, and is in the case file. On November 25th, 2026, I revisited the property for a follow-up inspection and found the property to be in compliance, taking photographs of the resolved issues. However, the owner failed to acquire the necessary permit for the driveway repaving, leaving that issue unresolved. Section 94-482-A, driveway maintenance. I took photographs at the initial investigation on November 20th, 2025, and again on November 25th, 2025. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections I observed during the course of my investigation. I recently visited the property, and all violations initially documented do remain in compliance. I spoke over phone and via email with Jerome McClare, the owner. I'm sorry, I didn't get to talk to you prior, who's here during the course of the investigation. He did apply for a permit online on December 24th, 2025, and the permit application is still undergoing review at this time. Considering though all the violations have been resolved since the initial investigation and the property does still remain in compliance with the exception of the permit issue, it remains that the owner did have since November 25th, 2025, after being advised he needed the permit to repave the driveway, and it wasn't until December 24th, 2025, that the permit was applied for online. So that being stated, the city is asking for 60 days for the owner to obtain the permit for the driveway repaving and to achieve full compliance or be subject to a fine of $100 per day after those 60 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony and evidence.
So help me, I guess I'm getting a little lost on the permit requirement.
For repaving, there are pictures of, I simply told him all he had to do was repair it. He opted to repave the driveway, which a permit is required.
Right, but isn't that a separate issue? As long as he's no longer parking on unpaved surface, isn't that compliance?
The compliance was in order, though, for the compliance he was required to have. The compliance that he achieved required a permit.
Okay. All right, what's your name, sir?
Jerome Moncler.
Okay. And the city's telling me you've applied for a permit? Are you close to having it issued?
Yeah, for the permit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we did apply for the permit.
You just applied, okay.
I checked yesterday, and it says that it's still awaiting review. I'm assuming it may be because of the holidays. I'm not sure.
What was can you pull up the original photos?
Oh, yeah. That's compliance. Those are compliance photos.
All right. And was there an affidavit of posting in there?
I did bring, I did bring printed photos of the initial driveway condition.
I saw she pulled up the one I saw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
thank
good.
you. A certified mail was delivered, so that's sufficient for service. All right, sir, do you have any objection to the documents on the screen being entered into the record?
No.
Okay. You think you can get the permit done in 60 days?
Yes.
Okay. Just be diligent. They send you emails from the system, so just keep an eye on, so it doesn't sit in your email without being responded to. Anything else you'd like me to hear, sir?
Okay, that's it.
All right. Anything else from the city?
No, ma'am.
All right. In the future, you may want to cite the permit section on these cases, too.
Right. It was, like I said, it was after the fact only because I just thought he was going to do a repair job. And then it was brought to my attention that after the repaving was completed, that he would have needed a permit.
Yeah, or maybe even in this case, cite the condition of the driveway rather than parking on unpaved surfaces, just because it gets confusing
Yes,
when
ma'am.
the permit part gets in there. But I'll I'm fine to move forward.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25114291, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include confirmation of delivery of the certified mail, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 94482A, and I'll require a respondent to comply with that section within 60 days or $100 per day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues. So keep in touch with him. Make sure you get the permit issued within the 60 days, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Number 24, case number CE 25104-224, address 3916 Australian Court.
Good morning, Kishana Watson-Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. I observed several violations at the property located at 3916 Australian Court, which some were complied. The outstanding violation include Section 26-35, they're penalized for tree removal. This is a one-time fine of $250. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. They still have plastic containers and furniture outside of the property. And 94-448-D-C, tree alteration permit. A tree removal permit is required. I initiated my investigation on October 20th, 2025. At the time the property was occupied. The city issued a notice of violation which identified the violation, including my contact information, and provided the notice of today's hearing. The notice was mailed by both certified and regular mail on October 30th, 2025 by the city clerk. The certified mail was received and signed for on November 12, 2025. In addition, I posted the property and City Hall on October 24, 2025, and I completed an affidavit of posting on that day, which is included in the case file. On January 5th, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remained out of compliance of all the sections just mentioned. Photographs were taken during my both initial and follow-up visit. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violation as I observed them. The property owner is not here, but her dad is here. I have been in contact with both parties. I explained the violations and the steps needed to come into compliance. At this time, the city is respectfully requesting that the property be granted 60 additional days to comply or a fine of $100 per day for all the other violations, with a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And what's the one-time fine for?
For the tree removal.
Tree removal. What section is that?
It's not on here because it was for that section because it was a penalty for that one. So it just require a permit, and they still have outdoor storage along with that.
Okay.
They need to replace that tree.
What code section is it, though?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. All right, your name, sir?
Leonardo Morales. I'm a father for Diana Morales.
All right, you've heard what the city is saying, and it sounds like there's been discussions about what you need to do to get in compliance. You understand what you need to do?
Yeah, and she said he wants to do the landscaping and fix the driveway and fix the tree, like remove. Then my daughter already do the application, and I already got a permit for the payment too.
Okay. And you have to get a tree alteration permit as well.
Yeah, and I got a paper over here where my daughter signed for the permit, but she still no got all the information for the city. So because she already do this application in like 20 days ago, 25 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, for the landscaper, somebody signed for this, and she already do the application. He wait for the, I don't know how long it take it to approve for the I got a planted tree or something like that, but she already paid, I think it's $250 for fine.
She already paid the fine?
That's what I think, because she told me the other day, so she paid right away $250, something like that. And after this, so you do this application, and I wait for this application to plant a tree, a little tree or something. I don't know what will happen with the landscaping.
And you need to get rid of the outdoor storage. You understand what you need to do on that?
Yeah, you already take it out. I already take that out. I already moved all of that stuff in like in parking space.
Okay.
Furnitures and the stuff on this one.
Is that still there?
Yes, when I went there on the 5th.
Like the car?
No, not the cars. The outdoor furniture. The furniture that doesn't belong outdoor, and then there are some items that are there.
So you see the recliner, the furniture that's not outdoor furniture needs to be removed.
Yeah, I want to remove that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all the outdoor storage is in the carport there?
Correct.
Okay, so whatever's in the carport that's not supposed to be in the carport, like a car,
Okay.
move it out of there. All right, can I see the notice documents? Again, I think I missed them. All right, signature on delivery. All right, sir, do you have any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
No.
Okay. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No, it's okay.
All right, anything else from the city?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25104-224, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include both an affidavit of posting as well as a signature on the certified mail that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 2635, 9471C, and 94448D1. I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 60 days, or $100 per day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter. And for the violation of the tree removal, I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $250.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 11, case number CE 25104-245, address 725th Street.
Was that number 11 you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that one complied or no? No. No, okay.
Good morning. Mark Slater, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on October 22nd, 2025. Service was accomplished by posting the property on October 23rd, 2025. Certified and regular mail were also sent. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for multiple violations. As of January 6, my final inspection, the following violations remain out of compliance. 18103B, every foundation shall be maintained in a proper manner. I would like to remove that violation from this case.
18103B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the remaining violations are 18106A, trash and debris. I observed trash and debris throughout the entire premises. 18106G, paint structure and wall. I observed the wall and the structure have black residue and paint is fading. 7434A1H, trash can in the public view. I observed trash cans being stored in the public view. 7894C, swales and parkways shall be sodded and cut below 6 inches. I observed that the areas in the parkway are missing sod and some areas need to be cut. 94302A4, all fences and walls shall be properly maintained. I noticed the chain link fence is in disrepair and the walls have cracks. 9471C, outdoor storage. I observed building and construction materials and attire on the property. These photos, in this case, accurately depict my observations. Since the property has not come into compliance as of January 6th, 2026, the city is asking for an additional 45 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, the city is asking for $150 per day until compliance is completed.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate of the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
All right, your names, please.
Buenos días, Gustavo Cepeda.
Okay, Gustavo Cepeda. Okay, so you don't speak English?
No speak English.
Okay, so you're going to translate for him?
Yes, my name is Natalie. I do need to be sworn in.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I guess ask him if he understands. Has there been any communication between you and him?
No, I haven't had any communication, no phone calls or emails.
Okay, so I guess tell him that the photographs that have been on the screen have shown him the violations. Does he understand, and ask him if he understands what he needs to do to come into compliance.
¿En alguna capacidad ha hablado con el oficial?
No.
Ok, y más de lo que yo te dije, ¿entiendes lo que tiene que hacer para...
Sí, yo puedo traducirlo y hacerlo.
Okay.
Claro.
Yes, he said he knows what he needs to do and he will be doing that.
Okay, and then tell him that the city is asking me to give him 45 days to do that. Ask him if he can get the items completed in 45 days.
¿Usted cree que lo puede hacer todo en 45 días?
Sí, yo creo que sí. Dígale que el problema es que tengo unos temas muy complicados. Tengo como más de 12 personas con 2 perros y un gato. Ha sido difícil todo hacerlo de la cédula, la limpieza y las cosas que hay que hacer. Pero ya acordamos que se tiene que desocupar mínimo antes de un mes.
Okay. Yes, he said he can do it in 45 days. He just wanted to say that he has several tenants on the property, and they have pets and they are troublesome for him. He does say that they will be leaving in 30 days.
Okay. And then I guess final question for him is ask him if he has any objection to the documents and the pictures being entered into the record.
¿Usted tiene alguna objeción a lo que ha presentado?
No, lo que necesito es arreglarlo, pero que los tenants se vayan para yo poder tomar las acciones necesarias que pide la ciudad.
Okay.
Que no hay problema.
Okay. Yes, no objections.
No objection, okay. And then I guess I want to give him an opportunity. Is there anything else he'd like me to hear?
¿Hay algo más que le quiere decir a ella?
No, que sí me gustaría decirle que el problema ha sido los tenants, que le digan que es lo que me ha cohibido de hacer los arreglos lo más pronto posible.
Yes, he has just repeated that it is the tenants that are causing him issues.
Okay. All right. Tell him thank you. Anything further from the city?
No.
Okay. And I guess I'm going to repeat my ruling and I'm going to stop. So if you could translate what I say to him so he understands what I am ruling. So I'll pause, and when I pause, that'll be your opportunity to translate to him. So in case number CE 25104-254, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include evidence that the certified mail has been signed for, that the city had good service for today's hearing.
Ella ha dicho que usted ha recibido la noticia del magistrado. Usted está acá.
Que si pronto me puedan 60 días mientras que ellos me desocupan para hacer todo lo que tengo que hacer.
He has just asked for 60 days instead of 45.
What's the city's response to 60 days?
No objection to that.
Okay. All right. Tell him I'll give him the 60 days.
Está diciendo, está bien.
All right, so proceeding with the ruling, I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer. That the respondent's in violation of sections 9471C, 94302A4, 7894C, 7434A1H, 18106A, and 18106G. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 60 days, or a $150 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. So the final thing, if you could tell him, just tell him once he has the items complied to call the code enforcement officer to come do a reinspection so that he gets a compliance inspection before those 60 days are done. Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Number 13, case number CE 25114-348, address 505 LA Kursky Street.
Good morning, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. The property at 505 LA Kursky was reported to code enforcement by the West Palm Beach Police Department. This property is occupied. I completed an initial inspection on November 5th of 2025 and cited the property for multiple violations. I completed a re-inspection on December 29th of 2025 and observed the property to not be in compliance with the following code sections. 94402E1, there are still signs that are on the property that need a permit. And then 94408D5, there's a sign that is what appears to be a mural that also needs a permit. So primarily there are signs that are still up that needs permits. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. I hand delivered and posted the notice of violation at City Hall on November 14th of 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on November 14th of 2025, and it is in the case file. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on November 18th, 2025 by the city's clerk. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property, and these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner, representative for the property owner, the LLC, which he's a part of the family who owns it, is present, and I have been in constant contact with Brian to address the issues, and as well as the business owners throughout this process. The business owner and the property owner are requesting additional time to comply. With that being said, the city is requesting an additional 60 days to comply. If no compliance, of $75 per day fine until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
All right, your name, sir?
Brian Madjavzakis.
All right, so you've heard what the city is saying. You have some signs that need permits. You understand what you need to do to get compliance?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you're in the process of getting the permit applications in?
I'm going to go now. I'm the building owner. I rented 2 stores, so I was kind of waiting for them because it's their signs, but they haven't done it. So I guess I'm responsible for it, which I don't know how that kind of works, but I'll be pulling the permits now.
The joys of property ownership, right?
But yes, I'm going to go over next door now to start the permit process.
Okay, and 60 days should be more than enough time to get those
Plus
permits,
90.
right?
Everybody here has been complaining about permit times. I don't know how long it'll take, but I will put it in today. But permits don't seem to be going too quick in West Palm Beach.
Our sign permits are probably faster than
It all depends. The one that I'm really questioning is the what appears to be a mural that is actually on the structure door itself.
Oh, it's painted on there?
I'm not sure is it painted on there? It's
Okay.
painted on there, so I'm not sure. But 90 days.
You're okay with 90? Okay.
It's more than enough.
All right. And just keep that in mind. Just because they say you have to get a permit doesn't mean that you will be granted a permit. It may be that you have to paint over. So I'm happy to give you the additional time in case you have to. Hopefully you don't have to paint over whatever it is, but
This comes to worst, that will be done.
yeah, just in case. I need this one thing. Only thing I need to see is just bear with the computer, I guess, for a second. I need to see the notice documents. And did you hand deliver it to this gentleman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Work with Brian a lot.
Will the posting affidavit open? Maybe? None of it's going to open?
The picture's open, it's just the notice, the affidavit of posting.
I've got a copy of it here if you want. You can give it to me.
You're not objecting to service. You're here, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you'll stipulate to service?
Yes.
Okay.
You
You were
served
hand delivered. That's fine. All right. Anything else you'd like me to hear, sir?
No, 90 days is fine?
Yeah, I'll give you I'll give you a final ruling here, but yes, I'll give you the 90 days. Yeah.
That's fine.
Anything further from the city? Oh, there's
Nothing
the
further.
signature on the certified mail. All right. In case CE 25114348, I'll enter. Oh, let me ask you. Any objection to the documents being entered into the record? All right. Thank you, sir. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents, which include the posting affidavit as well as the respondent's stipulation to service via hand delivery, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 94402E1 and 94408D5. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 90 days or a $75 a day fine will be assessed. So make sure, like I told the other gentleman, make sure once you have the permits in hand and everything is complied, make sure you contact him so you can get an affidavit of compliance.
Not a problem.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Number 14, case number CE 25104-263, address 401 Northwood Road.
All right, good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I observed unpermitted signs at 401 Northwood Road. This property is occupied. I completed an initial inspection on October 24th of 2025 and cited the property for multiple violations. I completed a re-inspection on December 29th of 2025 and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections. 94402E1, there are signs that still needs permits. 94408D5, to remove the excessive signs that are covering the windows and the windows for the doors. And 78342A, to obtain a sidewalk cafe permit. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on October 28th of 2025. I also completed the affidavit of posting on October 28th of 2025, and it is in the case file. That notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on October 30th of 2025 by the city's clerk, and certified mail was signed for on November 12th of 2025. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property, and these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The business owners are present, and I just made contact with them this morning, and I explained everything that they need to do. With that being said, the city is requesting 60 days to comply. If no compliance, a $100 per day fine until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Your names?
Jesus Quintana.
And your name, ma'am?
Maria Gomez.
All right, and you're the business owners?
Yes.
Okay. So you've heard what the city is saying. You understand what you need to do to get in compliance?
Yes.
Okay, and you think you can get that all done in 60 days?
We're gonna need more time. So if we can get more time, it will be perfect.
How much time? How much more time do you need?
We already applied for outdoor seating,
Uh-huh.
and it's been taking
And the-
kind of a while. Yeah.
We also applied for the signs as well. We're just trying to find an electrician with a professional license to, make it happen. But we would need more time, if please.
All right, I'll give you 90 days. That's more than enough time to get permits through. You shouldn't have any trouble with that. You really shouldn't have any trouble getting through in 60 days, but I'll give you 90 days just to make sure.
Okay.
Any objection to the documents that you've seen scrolling on the screen? No. Okay. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No.
All right, anything else from the city?
No.
Okay, in case CE 251-04263, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting as well as the signature on the certified mail, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondents in violation of section 78-342A, 94-408D5, and 94-402E1. And I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 90 days, or a $100 per day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue, rather. Same thing I told the prior gentleman, make sure before the end of those 90 days that you speak with him and make sure you're in total compliance and you get whatever inspections you need from him, okay?
Thank
you.
Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Number 32, case number CE 25124-456, address 233 Seville Road.
Good morning again. My name is Yasmin Law. I am a code officer for the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint regarding the property at 233 Seville Road. Upon my inspection, the property was observed to be in violation for multiple code sections, 94-448D1 for a tree alteration permit, 94-448-D-2 for the removal of a tree, and 94-448-D-3-B for the removal of a public tree in the public right-of-way. The city issued a notice of violations to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and the notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was mailed out on December 11, 2025 by the city clerks. I posted the NOV at the property on December 4th, and I completed the affidavit of posting on December 4th, 2025. I took pictures at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The contractor is here. I have not had any contact with anybody from the property. The city is requesting a fine of $250 for the tree removal.
For the city's tree?
Yes,
the right-of-way
ma'am.
tree?
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
So the fine is one-time fine of $250?
Yes, ma'am.
And then is there a compliance date on the permits?
Well, I have the landscape planner here because the property owner removed a tree that was in the public right-of-way, and typically we do not grant permitting for removing a tree in the public right-of-way.
So it's just removal of the one tree which was in the right-of-way?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can't even get a permit to remove the right-of-way tree. It's strictly just a one-time fine. Okay. All right, your name, sir?
Todd Curry.
And you're the contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand, you've heard what the city is saying. Looks like you hired somebody to take out a tree in the city's right-of-way.
So yes, this is a new construction project that has gone through the building department.
submitted all necessary permits for the landscape, for the property, and the construction of this property. I do have a tree alteration permit that was issued in '24 for this property. That tree was always basically in the right-of-way of the proposed driveway that has also been approved. I'm not saying we didn't take the tree down. I'm just saying it was always part of the plan to take the tree down when we went through the permitting process with Ansel Smith, which I don't believe he's here anymore.
Correct.
So one more thing, I have complied. I have replanted the requested tree, and I have reapplied for a new tree alteration permit. And I'm happy to share this document.
Right. So Megan Bichat, city's landscape planner, I did see the approved landscape plan, and on that landscape plan, it did say that the black olive trees were to remain. As for the tree alteration permit that you have, those trees are, that permit, it was only issued for the trees on site, and so the tree alteration permit that we have now in queue, which is currently pending and we're in communication with the applicant, is for the right-of-way trees, and we are talking with Andrew, who is the Parks and Recs coordinator, about the trees. As for the fee, it still stands. It's because they removed the tree without a permit, and so now we're working with them to come into compliance, and as he said, that they did install new trees, or one tree, sorry.
Okay. So the permit that he has in is for the right-of-way tree, so you will actually give him a permit for that?
No, the permit that he has is for the trees that they remove on site on their property. They did submit a tree alteration permit for the tree that they removed, so it's considered after the fact.
Right, that's the part I'm not clear about. So is there really a violation of 94-448-D1 if you won't give him a permit?
Well, we're speaking with Andrew, who's Parks and Recs, and they actually maintain and install trees throughout the city. And so we're doing the tree alteration permit on his behalf. So we're working with him and also with the applicant so that we can allow them, well, they already moved it, but just give them an issuance stating that this tree was removed.
So you will ultimately issue them a permit?
Yeah,
okay.
It's been removed.
Okay. If I could see, Madam Clerk, the posting affidavit. I'm sorry if I missed it. So does the city want compliance dates on the permit or no?
Yes, ma'am, 30 days.
30 days. Okay.
Mind giving me 60? Permits have been taking longer than usual. If
And
that's possible.
what's the fine amount in the event of noncompliance?
$100 a day.
Okay. I'll give you the 60 days, sir. That's fine.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you could, Monique, go to the picture, my picture. My concern about giving the property owner the 60 days is because upon reinspection on yesterday, they've also done more work that they don't have permitted as well.
What's your response to that?
What work are you speaking of, and has there been a violation issued?
She's going to show the picture.
Is that part of today's violation?
I think her point is that you continue to do work without permits. So
No, I have permits. I mean, I'd like to know what permit it is that you're requesting.
So just for clarification, what work is being done there?
Replacement of the sidewalk.
So I was looking within the permit. Do you have like the permit for that? Because I saw in queue that the sidewalk and driveway was actually still in the resubmittal, requires resubmittal, and that was back in July. So I didn't see any approval on the sidewalk or driveway.
Okay. Well, I'll have to go back to our records for that, but if that's what you see on the system, then.
Also, when the construction site removed the tree that was in the right-of-way, it disturbed the water plumbing underground, and so the entire block did not have water that day when they removed that tree.
Okay.
Which has been corrected that same day.
When was the tree alteration permit submitted?
I believe early December, and we are in communications with the applicant. We needed more information, and we did speak to, I can't remember her name, but she did respond back to me this Monday.
Somebody from the respondent side or somebody
Right,
from the city
so
side? Okay.
we required more information when the application was submitted, and then someone got back to me this Monday.
This was closed for the holidays.
And is the city essentially processing that permit, or is the respondent processing that permit?
Correct, we're processing the permit.
You're processing the permit, okay. All right, I'm going to give you 45 days, sir, to get that permit through. If the city's processing it, it's not like you're having to
No, and we've submitted.
basically do the work. Yeah, so they'll get it done within the 45 days.
Thank you.
I'll give you a little bit more time, but given what I'm seeing in the photographs, I'll give you that 45 days. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No, thank you.
Any objection to the documents on the screen being entered into the record? All right. And there was a posting affidavit in there, correct? Let me just see that real quick. Thank you. All right, perfect. Anything further from the city?
No.
All right, in case CE 251244456, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-448D2, 94-448D1, and 94-448D3B. I will, for the tree removal violation, I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $250, and for the remaining code sections, I'll require the respondent to comply within 45 days, or $100 per day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter. Keep in touch with them so that you get complied within that time, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5, case number CE 25104-227, address 901 Belvedere Road.
Good morning. Raphael Forster, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 10/21/25 and posted on 10/21/25. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 10/22/25 and signed for on 11/5/2025. I have been in contact with the property owner. This property was cited for multiple violations. However, 2 remain. 94402E1, sign permits. I observed that the business has unpermitted signs alongside the windows of the business. 94485B1E, parking and directional signs. I observed that the property does not have appropriate parking stripes and directional stripes along the property. These photos accurately depict my observation at the initial inspection. As of 1/6/26, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 90 days for them to contact planning and zoning and get proper permits. If they do not come into compliance, then the city is asking for $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
So the business tax receipt and COU complied?
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody present for this case? All right, for the record, the respondent is not present. So the signs, all those signs on the windows, is that what we're talking about? Or
Correct.
the signs on the wall?
Correct.
And the pavement violation is that it needs to be restriped?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any communication with the respondent?
I did.
Okay. But they're not here today?
No.
All right. 60 days, 90 days should be plenty of time to get through. Is there a permit for the striping?
Yes.
Okay, but 90 days is enough time?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay. All right, anything further from the city?
No.
All right, in case CE 25104-227, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I've already noted that the respondent is not present. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondents are in violation of sections 94-485B1E and 94-402E1. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 90 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter. Next case.
Number 6, case number CE 25114296, address 440 South Rosemary Avenue 11.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. The property located at 440 South Rosemary Avenue, Unit 11, was cited on November 7th of 25. Certified mail, regular mail, mailed out on November 14th of 25. City Hall and the property posted November 7th of 25. The following code violations were cited: 18-95A. I observed several electrical outlets without covers. 18-97-9, which I observed that the stove was not properly working on the property. 18-103C, I observed that an interior wall in the kitchen was leaning. 18-102-3, they need to provide screens for the windows. I observed no screens in those windows. 18-103E, front door, I observed that the front door needed to be replaced or repaired on that property. 22-441, there is no certificate, there is no rental license on our system with the City of West Palm Beach. The previous one expired in 2022. 22-32A, certificate of use. The previous one expired until 2022. 78-6, numbering standards. None of the apartments had numbers on the front doors of that location. And 18-103G, condition of the structure. The kitchen sink was leaking water in the kitchen. And 18-97-2, the toilet in that property also was leaking. Contact was made with the property owner. That's my recommendation today, that we give him additional 60 days to comply, or $100 a day fine thereafter. This is a total of 17 units, but I only cited one for the inspection. But once they get the rental license, then of course I got to inspect all 17 units.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
And when you were in there, you spoke to a tenant?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your evidence that it's being rented?
Correct.
And you can get all 17 inspections done within the 60 days?
I'm hoping. Yeah.
You're going to be a busy guy.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, anything further from the city?
That's it.
All right, in case, for the record, the respondent is not present. In case CE 25114296, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 1895A, 18103C, 18979, 18102.3, 18103E, 22441, 2232A, 786, and 18103G, and 18972. And I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 60 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 9, case number CE 25094028, address 730 47th Street.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Jacks, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. 730 47th Street was cited on November 18, 2025. Service was accomplished by a regular and certified mail sent on November 20, 2025. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on November 19, 2025. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for multiple code violations, which have been cured, with the exception of 7862. Number and location, there's no address character on the structure. I took photos at the initial investigation, and when I re-inspected the property, these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed during my investigation. As of January 6, 2026, the property remains in violation of the code section listed. As a result, the city is asking for an additional 30 days for compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate of the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
All right, perfect. Anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25094028, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting and a signed certified mail, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 7862, and I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter.
Number 10, case number CE 25094104, address 631 46th Street.
Andrew Jacks, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. 631 46th Street was cited on November 13, 2025. Service was accomplished by both regular and certified mail sent on November 18, 2025. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on November 14, 2025. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for multiple code violations, which have been cured with the exception of 94442C1, landscape area must be grassed, and 7434A1H, trash can in public view. I took photos at the initial investigation, and when I re-inspected the property, these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed during my investigation. As of January 6, 2026, the property remains in violation of the code sections previously listed. As a result, the city is asking for an additional 30 days for compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And what was the landscape area that be grassed? Where was that?
It's the section of the property right next to the house, next to the structure in the front.
Oh, right there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right, anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25094104, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondents are in violation of section 7434A1H, 94442C1, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thanks.
Number 12, case number CE 25114-356, address 515 North Chapadilla Avenue, 4.
Good morning. Mark Slater, Code Enforcement Officer for City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on November 14th, 2025. Service was accomplished by posting the property on November 18th, 2025. Certified and regular mail were also sent. I only spoke to the owner one time and haven't had any further contact. This property was cited for 18103G, repair, replace plumbing fixtures. I observed the handle to the bathtub not turning properly all the way and that the tub was leaking. 18103I, every supplied appliance needs to be in working condition. I observed only one of the 3 AC wall units supply heat. The space heater that's in the living area doesn't work. 1897B, every dwelling must supply hot water. I observed that the bathtub does not have running hot water. 2232A, obtain certificate of use. The owner does not have a certificate of use. 22441, obtain rental license. The owner does not have a rental license. These photos accurately depict my observations. As of January 6, 2026, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 45 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, the city is asking for $200 a day until compliance is completed.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And when you were on the site, you spoke to a tenant?
Yes, ma'am. They're the ones who made the initial, they made the complaint.
Okay. And the hot water heater violation, the agenda says 1897-8. Is that the same section you have?
1897-8?
Yeah, thought I heard you say B. Is it supposed to be B or 8?
8, sorry.
8, okay.
Excuse me.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I said whatever correctly in the ruling. Okay. Anything further?
Nope.
All right. In case CE 25114356, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 1897-8, 22441, 2232A, 18103I, and 18103G, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 45 days, or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 15, case number CE 25114-284, address 1927 Windsor Avenue.
All right, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint from a tenant living at 1927 Windsor Avenue regarding pests, in particular termites, an unsealed bathroom floor, and windows not properly sealed and opening throughout the property. I completed an initial inspection on October 28th of 2025 and cited the property for multiple violations. I completed a re-inspection on December 29th of 2025 and was only able to inspect the outside of the structure. So as a result, the property remains out of compliance for the following code sections. 18103C, I have yet to observe the inside, so I cannot testify that the bathroom floor has been repaired. 18103E, cannot really testify from street observation that the windows have been weather tight and repaired. 1895A, to cover the light switches throughout the home as well as the electrical outlet fixtures. 22-441, the property still needs to obtain a rental license. And 22-32A, the property also needs a certificate of use. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on November 5th of 2025. I also completed the affidavit of posting on November 5th of 2025. That notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on October 7th of 2025. And certified mail was signed for on November 20th of 2025. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. The property owner is not present, but I have been in constant contact with the executive assistant for the LLC. Throughout the investigation, all violations were discussed, how to comply, as well as this special magistrate hearing. An additional 30 days or $100 per day fine was discussed, but not agreed upon. With that being said, the city is requesting an additional 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a $100 per day fine until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
And when you were on site, you spoke to a tenant, or a tenant let you in?
Yes, the tenant let me in. The tenant is the one who initiated the complaint.
Okay. So that's your evidence of rental.
Now, I wasn't able to see any active termites, but all of those holes that you see along the cabinets are indication of termite activity. That window definitely was not able to get some of the water to show that it was, its moisture there is leaking through, as well as the back windows. So throughout this process, I also included email correspondence between the permit department, myself, as well as the executive representative. It appears to be one of those stalling out cases, if you will, and what I mean by that is they know about the property needs to be inspected, the inside, but there's another property on the lot as well that I have not inspected for obvious reasons, but when it comes time for that, for the rental inspection to be completed, both properties need to be complied. So email was submitted to the permit department as if I'm not getting in contact with them. So I just decided to loop everyone in together so we can all be on the same page to show that we do work together, and that it's not going to, you're not going to be able to stall the process in the manner in which you're stalling. With that being said, that's the reason why the city was recommending 30 days or $100 per day to comply. And I personally believe, which is the reason that that time frame was not agreed upon, it was just left vacant, because there's really no counter. You know exactly what it is that you need to do. It's just you're stalling out to do it. To my knowledge, the property 1927 is currently vacant. The tenant told me prior to him moving that this owner is in the process of trying to sell the property as well. So don't know how true that is, but you can see even planning and zoning is letting them know that it's exactly the reason why it's failing, exactly what it is that you need to do to get code enforcement to come out to complete an inspection throughout all of the emails. So.
All right, just the posting affidavit and the certified mail, and I should be good. Thank you. And you said you got the signed certified mail as well?
Yes, it's not this one, but there is one.
That's all right. You have a posting affidavit, so that's sufficient. All right, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right, in case CE 25114284, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include both an affidavit of posting and the signed certified mail that just popped up there, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer and the photographs in the case file, that the respondent's in violation of sections 1895A, 2232A, 18103C, 18103E, and 22441, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 16, case number CE 25114298, address 3712 Henry Avenue.
Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. The property at 3712 Henry Avenue, I was out there as a result of a tenant complaint. This case was created on November 6, 2025. Notice of violation, notice of hearing was posted at the property on November 10th, 2025. Certified mail was sent November 14th, and it was signed and received on November 19th, 2025. This property was cited for 18103C, condition of the structures, including interior partition, walls, floors, ceilings. The bedroom in one of the units, so it's quadplex. One of the units on one of the duplexes had roof issues. They had a hole in their ceiling, multiple areas where they had leaks, repairs that were made in poor condition. 18106A, clean and sanitary. There's trash and debris on the property, including on the public right-of-way sidewalk. 7434A1H, trash cans stored in public view. The trash cans are stored on the sidewalk and they're not being brought in. They're in public view. Landscape areas must be grass, 9444C1, 442C1. There's landscape areas all over the property that are bare dirt, missing the required grass. 18106G, exterior paint. There is cracks, faded paint, and peeling, flaking paint on both structures. 94302A4 for fence and wall maintenance. There is a chain link fence and a wooden fence that are both in disrepair. 18-100 for egress. There is unsafe egress. There are walkways leading to both both sides of the different duplexes have broken, uneven walkways. 18103B, condition of structures, foundation, exterior walls, and roof. I was called out there for the roof that was leaking, visible from the inside of the hole in the ceiling. There was signs of mold growing on the roof and signs of leaks. And 744C4 for the vegetation obstructing the right-of-way on the sidewalk.
Oh, is that one the hedge growing halfway over the sidewalk?
Yes, the hedge along the sidewalk of the street. So I've had no contact from any owner or representative for this property. The tenant no longer lives at the property. She was evicted as a result from the complaint. So I'm unable to re-inspect the interior repairs, but the roof was replaced with the permit. It passed final inspection, and one of the structures was painted. The other was not. So there has been some improvements, but overall the property is still in violation, as seen in my reinspection photos from January 6th. The city is recommending 45 additional days to comply with these violations, or we're asking for a fine of $100 a day after.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
All right, in case CE 25114298, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include both an affidavit of posting and a signed certified mail, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file and testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 18103C, 18106A, 7434A1H, 94442C1, 18106G, 94302A4, 18100, 18103B, and 744C4. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 45 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 18, case number CE 25104-255, address 809 Selkirk Street.
Number 17.
Oh, 17, sorry.
The owner was here, but she left, so that's why it was.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, so number 17, sorry, case number CE 25104-253, address 833 Selkirk Street.
Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited, discovered while patrolling my assigned zone. The property was cited on October 24th. Notice violation, notice of hearing was posted on October 24th, and certified mail was sent October 30th. Regular and certified mail. Affidavit of posting is attached to the case file. This property was cited for multiple violations. As of January 6th, the remaining violations are 94442C1 for landscape areas requiring grass. Currently, they're all crushed rock in the front yard. And 94482A, parking requirements, unpaved parking. Since the whole front yard is crushed rocks, including the driveway, they do not have paved parking. The owner was here. We have had contact. They corrected the initial violations. They have applied for a driveway paving permit, which will take care of the landscape issue and the paved driveway issue. But it was requesting more time. She agreed that 60 additional days would be enough to get the contractors to finish the work. If it's not done in that 60 days, the city's recommending a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
So is the trash can and the clean and sanitary still outstanding, or did that comply?
She complied those, yeah. She pressure washed the sidewalk, and the trash can was out on trash day.
All right, so it's just the 294 sections that remain?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 251-04253, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-442C1 and 94-482A, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 60 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 18, case number CE 25104-255, 809 Selkirk Street.
Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property is 809 Selkirk Street. When I originally cited it, I just want to put on record, it was readdressed. So the new address is 821 Selkirk Street. This property was cited as a result of discovering violations while patrolling my assigned zone. The property was posted on October 24th. The notice violation, notice of hearing, was posted at the property in City Hall on October 24th. And certified mail was sent out October 30th. It was signed received November 12th, 2025. The property was cited for multiple violations. I've had contact with the owner in person, over the phone, and over email. And the remaining violation on the property is 94-302A3 for fence permits. There are no fence permits on file for the fence on the property. The owner has applied for the permit required for the fence. It did fail pre-screen and requires a resubmit and some additional information. That is the remaining issue. It was originally a 6-foot fence in the front, which would never be allowed, so they did cut it down to 4 feet. It might speed up the process, but ultimately they need a permit for the fence. The city is recommending 60 additional days to obtain the permit, or we're asking for a fine of $100 a day after that.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
And the respondent complied the numbering standards?
Yes, she did.
Okay. The system appears to be done with the hearing, huh?
That's the permit she applied for. It failed initial review. There's the note, and that's corrected address characters.
Okay. And then just the posting affidavit and the signed certified mail, and we should be good. All right. Anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 25104-255, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1, without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections, just section 94-302A3. And I'll require a respondent to comply with that section within 60 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 19, case number CE 25114415, address 400 Erie Place.
Joseph LaPerna, Code Enforcement, City of West Palm Beach. On November 20, 2025, at approximately 12:15 p.m. while on routine patrol, my attention was called to the residential property located at 400 Erie Place, West Palm Beach. There were several violations noted, and contact was made with the owner of the property regarding the violations. The notice of violation was posted on the property November 21st, 2025. Certified and regular mail were sent on November 25th, 2025. Certified mail was returned on December 8th, 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed and filed on November 21st, 2025, and is in the case file. On January 25th, I revisited the property for a final inspection before today's hearing and found the property not in compliance, photographing items landscape in yard must be grass sod or landscape material. I took photographs at the initial investigation on November 20th, 2025, and again on January 5th, 2026. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections I observed during the course of my investigation. I did speak with the property owner, Joel Dominique, who is not here today, at the initial investigation, but all attempts to contact since have gone unreturned or unanswered. Considering only 1 of 6 violations has been resolved since the initial inspection, the city is asking for 45 days for Mr. Dominique to achieve full compliance or be subject to a fine of $100 per day after those 45 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
And just the posting affidavit. There we go. All right, in case CE 25114415, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1, without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-446-2E, 94-442-C1, 74-4C1, 74-4C4, and 94-302A4. And I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 45 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 20, case number CE 25114399, address 423 South Chillingsworth Drive.
Joseph Laperna, Code Enforcement Officer, West Palm Beach. On November 20th, 2025, at approximately 11:21 a.m., while on routine patrol, my attention was called to the residential property located at 423 South Chillingworth Drive, West Palm Beach. There were several violations noted, and contact was made with the owner of the property regarding the violations. The notice of violation was posted on the property November 21st, 2025. Certified and regular mail were sent on November 25th, 2025. Certified mail was returned on December 8th, 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed and filed on November 21st, 2025, and is in the case file. On January 25th, 2026, I revisited the property for a final inspection before today's hearing and found the property to not be in compliance. Photographing items still in violation. Section 94-442-C-1, bare areas of landscape in the yard must be grass, sod, or landscape material. Section 74-34-A-1-H, garbage cans left in public view. I took photographs at the initial investigation on November 20, 2025, and again on January 5, 2026. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections I observed during the course of my investigation. I spoke with a female on the property who identified herself only as an owner, who is not here, during the course of the investigation, and all attempts to contact since have gone unreturned or unanswered. Considering 2 of the 6 violations have been resolved since the initial inspection, the city is asking for 45 days for the owners to achieve full compliance or be subject to a fine of $100 per day after those 45 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
All right, in case CE 25114399, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include affidavits of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 74-34A1H and 94-442C1. And I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 45 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 21, case number CE 25114414, address 308 Erie Place.
Joseph Laperna, Code Enforcement Officer, West Palm Beach. On November 20th, 2025, at approximately 12:15 p.m. while on routine patrol, my attention was called to the residential property located at 308 Erie Place, West Palm Beach. There were several violations noted, and contact was made with the owner of the property regarding the violations. The notice of violation was posted on the property November 26th, 2025. Certified and regular mail were sent on December 4th, 2025. Certified mail was returned on December 11, 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed and filed on November 26, 2025, and is in the case file. On January 5th, 2026, I revisited, excuse me, the property for final inspection before today's hearing and found the property not in compliance, photographing the items still in violation. Section 94-442-C-1, bare landscape areas of the yard must be grass, sod, or landscape material. And Section 94-446-2-E, edging of the sidewalk, clearing the sidewalk from any overgrowth. I took photographs at the initial investigation on November 20, 2025, and again on January 5th, 2026. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections I observed during the course of my investigation. I spoke with Mr. Gustavo Taruno, who is not here, during the course of the investigation, and he has complied on 5 of the 7 violations, but has recently been hospitalized and was unable to finish the correction by today's hearing. So considering 5 of the 7 violations have been resolved since the initial inspection, the city is asking for 60 days for the owner to achieve full compliance or be subject to a fine of $100 per day after those 60 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
What was the fine amount? I'm sorry.
Oh, 100, ma'am.
Thank you.
I spoke with him Monday, and we were in complete agreement on the time and the
time
amount.
frame. Okay, great. And then just the posting affidavit. There we go. Perfect, thank you. In case CE 251-14414, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file that the city had good service based on the affidavit of posting. Based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, I'll find that the respondents are in violation of sections 94-446-2E and 94-442-C1, and I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 60 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 23, case number CE 25114-281, address 3808 North Australian Avenue.
Good afternoon, Code Enforcement Officer. Kishana Watson Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. While on patrol, I observed several violations located at our property, 3808 North Australian Ave. With some of the violations being complied, the outstanding violations include 18-106-L landscape requirement. There are missing grass in the right-of-way, and 94-71-C outdoor storage. There are plastic containers and cleaning supplies located in the front and the side of the property. I initiated my investigation on October 31st, 2025. At the time, the property was occupied. The city issued a notice of violation, which included the violations, my contact information, and provide the notice of today's hearing. This notice was mailed by both certified and regular mail on December 10th, 2025 by the city clerk. The certified mail is showing going through network as of yesterday. In addition, I posted the violation at the property and City Hall on November 4th, 2025, and I completed an affidavit of posting on that date, which is located in the case file. On January 5th, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remains out of compliance with those sections. Photographs were taken during both my initial inspection and follow-up visit. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations as I observed them. I have not been in contact with the property owner. At this time, the city is respectfully requesting 30 days to comply or a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And what was the outdoor storage?
There are plastic containers on the side and in the front, also cleaning supplies.
Also cleaning supplies?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, in case CE 2511-4281, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106L, 18106A, 9471C, and 7434A1H, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 25, case number CE 25104-249, address 3908 Australian Avenue.
Kishana Watson-Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. While on patrol, I observed several violations at a property located at 3908 North Australian Ave, which some being complied. The outstanding violations include 94-71-C, outdoor storage. They have plastic containers to the side on the back of the property, and 18106-L, landscape requirement. There are areas of the property in the front. I initiated my investigation on October 20, 2025 at the property. At that time, the property was occupied. The city issued a notice of violation, which included the violation, my contact information, and the notice of today's hearing. The notice was mailed by both certified and regular mail on October 30th, 2025 by the city clerk. Certified mail was received and signed for on November 13, 2025. In addition, I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on October 24, 2025, and I completed an affidavit of posting on that date, which is included in the case file. On January 5th, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remains out of compliance with those sections. Photographs were taken during both my initial and follow-up visits. The photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violation as I observed them. I have been in contact with the property owner, and during our discussion, I explained the violations, the steps to comply, and the details of today's hearing. At this time, the city is respectfully requesting 30 days to gain compliance or a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate of the City would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence.
And you said 30 days or 100?
Correct.
Okay. And the clean and sanitary, is that still existing?
No.
That complied?
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's outdoor storage. Okay, landscape. All right, perfect. In case CE 25104249, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 9471C, 18106L, and I'll require a respondent to comply with those code sections within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 26,
That's
case number
close compliant.
CE 25114-294, address 3800 North Australian Avenue.
That's close complied.
That one's complied?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, number 27, case number CE 25104-238, address 3916 North Australian Avenue.
Kishona Watson Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. While on routine patrol, I observed several violations at a property located at 3916 North Australian Ave. With some being complied, the outstanding violation include 18-106-G, paint. Areas of the structure needed to be painted as they have removed vines from the structure and now it's discolored. I initiated my investigation on October 20th, 2025. At the time, the property was occupied. The city issued a notice of violation, which identified the violations, my contact information, and provided notice of today's hearing. The notice was mailed by both regular and certified mail on October 31st, 2025 by the city clerk. The certified mail was received and signed for on November 12, 2025. In addition, I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on October 24, 2025, and I completed an affidavit of posting on that date, which is located in the case file. On January 5th, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remained out of compliance. Photographs were taken during both my initial and follow-up visit. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violation as I observed them. I have been in contact with the owner's daughter, and during our discussion, I explained the violation, the steps to comply, and the details of today's hearing. At this time, the city is requesting 30 days to comply or a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. The city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
And where is it that needs to be painted?
So on the structure, there's two sides of the structure, on the front and the back side where they take the vines from it, so it's now discolored. So if you look right here on this one.
Oh, they took vines down. Okay.
And this one as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, in case CE 25104-238, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code officer that the respondent's in violation of 18106G, and I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day the violation continues thereafter.
Thank you.
Number 28, case number CE 25114-368, address 366 Palmetto Street.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law. I am a code officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While on routine patrol, I observed multiple violations at 366 Palmetto Street. My initial investigation was November 18th, 2025. The property still is in violation for 94-485-E for the unpaved parking space. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations. My contact information and the notice of the hearing was listed. The notice of violation was certified mail on November 22nd, 2025 by the city clerk. I posted on the property on November 18th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting November 18th, 2025, and it's in the file. I took photos at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not been in contact with the property owner. The city's requesting 30 days to comply or $100 day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
'28. So that gravel's the problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said you'd spoken to the respondent or no?
No.
Okay. All right, perfect. In case CE 25114368, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, an affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 94-485E, and I'll require a respondent to comply with that section within 30 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day the violation continues thereafter.
Number 30, case number CE 251-14446, address 7600 South Dixie Highway.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law. I am a code officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While on patrol, I observed multiple violations at 7600 South Dixie Highway. I initiated my investigation on November 25th, 2025, and the property is still in violation for the following code sections: 94-402-E-1, a permit is required for the signage at the property, and 94-110-C-6, that the permanent sign at the property is in need of a permit as well. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations. My contact information and the notice of this hearing was listed. The notice of violation was mailed out certified mail December 11th, 2025 by the city clerk. I posted the NOV at the property on December 1st, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting December 1st, 2025. I took photos at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, these photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not here. I've had contact with the tenant, not the property owner. The city's requesting 30 days to comply or $100 day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
So that's the permanent sign.
That's the permanent side, and then the signs that are on the windows, they have to get a permit. I honestly am not sure whether or not they'll be approved for it, but they haven't even applied for it.
Okay. They applied for the permanent one only?
They applied for the permanent one, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, just the posting affidavit, and that should be good for me. All right, perfect, thank you. In case CE 25114446, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 94-402E1 and 94-110C6, and I'll require respondents to comply within how much time did you say?
30 days.
Within 30 days, or $100 per day fine
Yes,
will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Number 31, case number CE 25114360, address 359 Elamar Road.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint regarding the property at 359 Elamar. Upon my inspection, the property was observed to be in violation. I investigated initially the property on November 14th, 2025, and the property has one violation that is still out of compliance, and that's 94-451-A-4. The property owner has their entire backyard is artificial turf. They just didn't obtain a permit for it. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The NOV was mailed out, certified mail, on November 24th, 2025 by the city's clerk. I posted the property on November 17th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting November 17th, 2025. I took pictures of the initial inspection as well as I revisited the property. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present. I have had contact with the property owner. The city's requesting 30 days to comply and $100 day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
So the location is okay, it's just a matter of getting the permit?
It's just the permit. They've applied for the permit, but I figure the 30 days should give them time just for it to be approved. The location's fine.
Okay, great. In case CE 25114360, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 94-451-A4, and I'll require a respondent to comply with that section within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter.
Number 33, case number CE 251-24458, address 130 Seville Road. It's complied. Number 36, case number CE 160.
What, if I could stop you, what happened to number 4? It's at the 12:30.
Yes.
Okay. Was it noticed for 12:30 or 11:30? 12:30. Okay, so we'll skip that one and go to the other matters then?
Yes.
Is that okay? Okay. All right, so I guess before you call the first one into the record, I'll start the other matters section of the hearing at 12:23. For those of you who are here for that portion of the hearing, my name is Amity Barnard. I'm the special magistrate for today's hearing. First thing I'm going to do is swear everybody in who's here to testify on any of these items. So if you're here for one of the cases on the agenda that's 36 through 42, if you could stand if you're able and raise your right hands for me, I'll swear everybody in at the same time. The gentleman in the blue shirt, are you here for? Yeah, I'm an attorney. Very good, perfect, you're fine. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you, you may be seated. A little bit about process. When your case is called, you're gonna come to the podium that's to my right or your left. The city staff is already standing to the podium to my left and your right. The city will put on its case first. They will present the documents on the screens behind me that they want to enter into the record and present any evidence that they want me to hear. These are fine mitigations, so there's a little bit of an introductory testimony, and then it's your turn to explain to me why the fine should be reduced. So with that, I'll have the city call the first case.
Number 37, case number I'm sorry about that. Number 37, case number CE 230-20196, address 454 Monroe Drive.
Good afternoon, Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach. case number CE 23020196 was cited for failure to renew rental license and certificate of use. Date ordered 4/5/2023 to comply by 4/15/2023. Fine started on 4/17/2023 for a fine amount of $150 per day. Days out of compliance, 132 days for a total fine of $19,800. City of West Palm Beach and the respondent reached an agreement to an $1,980 agreement.
How much?
$1,980.
Payable how long? 60 days? You need 60 days?
No, the house is gonna close the next week, so.
30 days?
Yeah, 30
Okay.
days is fine.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Kenneth Wagner.
All right, and you're in agreement with what the city staff said? You're in agreement with the 1980 by 30 days? Anything else you want me to hear?
No.
All right, with that, in case CE 23020196, I will grant the mutually, I guess, do you need the record entered? Do you need the case file? There is no case file, so you don't need any record, never mind. I will grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the previous lien amount from $19,800 down to $1,980 payable within 30 days. And I think they'll give you an order there before you leave.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Number 36, case number CE 160-70131, address 320 North Lakeside Court.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach. In case number CE 16070131, this property was cited for failure to obtain a building permit. Date ordered 12/7/2016, complied by 1/9/2017. Fine started on 1/10/2017 for $100 a day. Number of days out of compliance, 485 days, for a total fine of $48,500. The city and the property owner came to an agreement of a reduction to $4,850.
A specified time to pay?
They're reducing to 4,800.
I think it's 60 days that Mr. Joyce agreed to.
You could pay, you need 60 days to pay?
60-day, 4,800s is okay.
That's okay. Okay, your names for the record, just so the record is clear?
Terry Monty.
Okay, your name, sir?
Ryan Cowell, K-O-W-A-L.
All right, and you're in agreement with the reduced amount? All right, that's an easy one too. So in case CE 16070131, I will grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien amount from $48,500 down to $4,850 payable within 60 days. And she'll give you an order right there before you leave.
All right, number 42, case number CE 0607004, address 938 39th Street.
There are also two more cases, number 38 and number 40.
Number 40 as
Hi,
well.
good afternoon.
So call them both.
Yeah, if you want to call them all in, that's
Okay,
great.
all right, number 40, case number CE 24062173, address 936 39th Street.
And 38 as well, right?
Yes, and 38.
And 38 as
Yes,
well.
ma'am.
38, number 38, case number CE 191-10363, address 936 39th Street.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach. I'm going to start with the oldest case dating back to 2006, case number CE 06070004. This property was cited for overgrowth, landscaping, landscape maintenance, condition of the structure, boarding certificate. Date ordered 10/17/2026 to comply by 11/14/2026. Fine started on 11/15/2006, for a daily fine of $500. Days out of compliance, 139 days for a total fine of $69,500. In this case, the city and the property owner agreed to a reduction to $6,950.
All right, your name, sir?
My name is Robert Beckford.
And are you the new owner?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You're in agreement with that reduction?
Yes.
How much time do you need to pay? Can you pay that in 60 days?
We had agreed to with Mr. Joyce. He said 90 days.
90 days? Is that's somebody with the city you're talking about?
That's, yes.
Okay.
Mark.
Oh, Mark, okay. So 90 days is,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
That is case number CE 06070004.
All right, so I'll just do them separately since you have them split out separately. So then in case CE 06070004, I will grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien amount from $69,500 down to $6,950 payable within 90 days.
Case number 38, CE 19110363. This property was cited for excessive overgrowth, failure to comply, clean up half of the alleyway right-of-way, fence repair, hurricane hazard, and landscape maintenance. Fine started on 10/17/2006. Fine started in 1/15/2020 to comply by 2/14/2020. Fine started on 2/15/2020 for $100 a day. Number of days out of compliance, 166 days for a total fine of $16,600. The city and the property owner came to an agreement to reduce the fine to $1,660.
Payable within 90 days again?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, your name is the same as it was before? And you're still in agreement?
Yes, I am.
All right, anything else? All right, in case CE 191-10363, I will grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien amount from $16,600 down to $1,660 payable within 90 days.
Case number 40, CE 24062173. This case was cited for overgrowth, fence maintenance, excessive overgrowth, and clean and sanitary condition. Date ordered 8/21/2024 to comply by 9/20/2024. Fine started on 9/21/2024 for $100 a day. Total days out of compliance was 222 days for a total fine of $22,200. The city and the respondent agreed to a reduction of $2,220 payable in 90 days.
Your name is still the same?
Same.
All right, and you're in agreement with this reduction as well?
Yes.
All right. Anything further?
No.
Okay. In case CE 24062173, I will grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien amount from $22,200 down to $2,220 payable within 90 days. And she'll give you copies of the orders right there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Number 39, case number CE 150-30269, address 4009 Waverly Drive.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach. This case was cited for inoperable vehicle and unsanitary condition. Date ordered 6/3/2015 to comply by 7/3/2015. Fine started on 7/4/2015 for $100 a day. Total days out of compliance, 1,872 days for a total of $187,200. The city and the respondent agreed to a reduction of $28,080.
And how much time to pay?
I would say payable in 90 days.
All right, your name, sir?
We could do 30 days.
Okay, 30 days is fine.
And you're certain you can pay it? Because just know if you don't pay it by that time, it goes back to the original amount. So I'm happy to give you 90 days just to make sure.
That's fine. That's
okay,
fine.
I appreciate your agreement to pay it sooner, but I just want to make sure it doesn't bounce back up to the amount.
Sounds good.
What's your name?
My name is Franz Milford.
Okay. You're the new owner?
No, I am representing the previous owner.
The previous owner, okay. And you're in agreement with the $28,080?
That's fine.
Okay, payable within 90 days. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No.
All right, in case CE 15030269, I'll grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien from $187,200 down to $28,080 payable within 90 days. And she'll give you a copy of the order right there. Thank you, sir.
Number 41, case number CE 2207-0256, address 2205 A.E. Isaacs Avenue.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach. Case number CE 2207-0256 was cited for certificate of use, failure to obtain a building permit, unsanitary condition, cleaning up half of the alleyway, failure to obtain a rental license, landscape maintenance, and overgrowth. The fine was ordered on 10/5/2022 to comply by 11/4/2022. Fine started on 11/7/2022 for $100 a day. Total number of days out of compliance, 1,075 days, for total fine of $107,500. The city and the respondent agreed to a $10,750 reduction.
And how much time to pay?
Payable in 90 days.
90 days. Your name, sir?
Edward Page.
Thank you. And you're in agreement, your counsel for the respondent, is that?
Yes, well, a non-attorney consultant for the client.
Okay. You're in agreement with that reduction amount?
Yes,
And you can pay it in 90 days?
paid today.
Okay, I'll give you the 90 days just to make sure, but I appreciate that. Anything else you'd like me to hear?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in case CE 2207-0256, I'll grant the mutually agreed reduction. I'll reduce the lien amount from $107,500 down to $10,750 payable within 90 days, and she'll give you a copy of the order right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Number 4, case number PD 251-00453.
Oh, if they're here, looks like it. Did you get it all read in the record?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't read the address. No, I didn't. All right, number 4, case number PD 251-00453, address 114 South Narcissus Avenue.
All right, and I think I need to swear everybody in, so I don't think you were sworn, correct?
Yeah, I stood in the back corner.
You did when I first.
You got
okay.
us all.
And you as well?
Yeah, he just walked in as well.
Very good. All right, so go ahead, City.
On Saturday, September 27th, 2025, at approximately 00:45 hours, I conducted a business check at Camelot at 114 South Narcissus. Operation is guided by Florida State Statute 562-41 subsection 1, which allows law enforcement to search all persons, places, and conveyances of any kind to determine if there is any provision of the alcohol beverage license or laws being violated. I personally noted a white male and white female appearing to be under the age holding drinks. The male was confronted by another officer while I spoke to the female. She was identified after she ran into the bathroom, and we pulled her out. She was identified as Hannah Hercule, born in 2006, making her 19 years old at the time. She did not have a fake ID on her at any point in time. She was also searched after we left the club. She was arrested for such violation of Florida State statute. In total, during that operation, there were 4 other arrests made. All of those arrests, though, had a fake ID in their possession, which is a guaranteed defense to the business per Florida State Statute 562.11. Based on the above, with underage persons being inside the club and one violating Florida state statute without having a fake ID, Camelot clearly violated city ordinances 6.5A, person under 21 prohibited, 6.12, violation of state law deemed violation of chapter, and 6.13.
What is, I'm
No,
sorry,
go
what
ahead.
is the city seeking in terms of remedy?
I'm not, can you pull up, I don't believe they have been violated before. So this would be their first violation. And they have also since then purchased a very thorough ID scanning system, which has been working out in their favor.
Okay.
So they are remedying themselves
So this
as well.
is typically a one-time fine scenario, is that right?
Correct.
Based on the number of offenses? Okay.
First one, yeah.
All right, your name, sir?
Jeremiah Pitts.
And are you the owner?
No, the manager.
Manager, okay. What is this, a club?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
You stop by.
you've heard what the city has said. It sounds like they're telling me that you've implemented some changes to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Is that correct?
Correct. We purchased the ID scanner, same technology West Palm Police Department uses.
Okay.
And then we also implemented some security issues because I believe someone was brought in the back doors, so we implemented our security protocols on the floor. And then we have a fence that we've, someone tried to put it on the fence. We have protocols in place in the sense of staffing. And then our policies now is everybody under 30, we verify their ID with the ID scanner.
Okay. So is the city seeking a one-time fine here?
Yes. So under the code, we're seeking a fine of $500, a one-time fine. And just for the record, city would like to move into evidence the testimony in the case file as well.
Okay.
How long ago?
This would be the first one because this was in September. Before that, I don't know what that incident is with Davis, nor do I know if that's actually a violation of state statute to be a continuing. Yes. Yeah, this will be the first.
So you're treating this as a first offense and the $500 is the fine?
Yes.
Okay. Is there, were there notice documents for today? Can I see whatever the case file is for this real quick? Thank you. And she's going to pull these up on the screen at the end. I'm going to ask if you have any objection to these documents being entered.
What are the documents?
She's pulling them up right now.
Okay.
They're the notice documents for today's hearing.
Okay. Can I submit this as well for the file?
You can, if you could give it to the officer and he'll give it to the attorney. And can the city keep that?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I have multiple copies, yes.
Okay. I'll take a look at it after
I have 2 copies if you need it.
No, one is fine.
Okay.
And what is it?
It's just verification that we have the ID scanner.
Okay.
At the same time, and then just a list of the protocols that we've implemented.
Okay, great. Any objection from the city on submitting those documents?
No objection.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, there's the posting affidavit for today's hearing. Sir, do you have any objection to the city's documents being entered?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, with that, I'll enter the city's composite exhibit 1, their evidentiary case file without objection. I'll also enter respondents' composite exhibit R2 without objection, and I'll ask that the city put this in the case file so that it stays with this case moving forward. I'll admit that without any objection by the city. Anything further that you'd like me to hear, sir? Okay. Anything further from the city?
Nope.
All right, then with that, in case PD 251000453, I've entered both sides' evidentiary case files. I'll find that based on the notice documents in the case file, which include certified mail signatures as well as affidavits of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the officer as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 6-13, 6-5-A, and 6-12. And because this is a first offense, I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $500. And he'll get the order after the fact on this one? Yeah, so you get the order after the fact in the mail.
Okay.
Okay, yep, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that appears to be it, right? All right, with that, I will adjourn at 12:45.
She's like, it's an emergency. Oh my gosh. Not good. I didn't know you had one that young. She's like, I don't know his number. Sorry, I'm not. Stop report, okay.
Just give it a second.
Okay.
Now you can X out and log off.